So like the qualification should have been like at least like 10 WrestleManias at least.
Are you already recording that one over there?
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Let's go.
Oh shit!
Oh, we're already up.
Live.
Oh, God.
Mine.
Yes.
You're scooting a little deer.
Ooh,
Yeah. Trying to get close to us.
Yeah.
Vicky over here.
Yeah. Okay. I'm posting that we are live now on Facebook. Let me do the same on the tweeting machine. And
I remember this time I spent on this stuff.
how are you?
Whenever you're ready.
Well, I said, how are you?
Oh. We'll get to that.
I'm trying to buy time. We're live.
Oh. Yeah, for the nobody is watching.
Yeah, well, yeah, but people can look at it, later.
They're enjoying the view now.
Are they?
Yeah. Charles and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there. Later, I said, just embrace it, man. Just go full Steve Austin.
I tried doing that, remember?
Yeah, try harder.
Yeah.
How about today? For 316 day, I'll get the Gillette.
No.
We'll do a reverse mohawk.
No.
I got some clippers.
No. Don't encourage him. Why are you encouraging him?
That's a good point. 316 day.
You're thinking about it.
No, I'm not. I am not.
It's like I'm already tied down. I don't have anybody I need to impress. What have I got to lose? Yeah. You wanted banter, now you don't want banter.
No. This is Nick. All right, let's get this show officially started. Live from La Cocina Studios, this is the 174th edition of Houston Wrestling Radio. This is Abel.
This is Travis.
Doesn't matter what my name is. We got a long show tonight.
You're Chris.
We're gonna make this quick. Lucha
Uh-huh.
and WWE.
Yes, that's all we're doing this week.
Yeah. Well, let's get the rest out of the way quick.
Quick. Oh, here we go.
What's going on script again?
Again,
Yeah.
for kicking off the show already, going off the script.
Yes.
Before you do, hold on. Before you do, we are, live on YouTube. Those people that are there watching, thank you. We are not interacting with the chat today because we're on a different day because it's Wednesday. We're normally on Tuesday, and Porch couldn't make it, so she's not manning up the chat. But if you still, want to put something on Facebook or something, I might be able to see it here on my handy dandy cell phone. So, thank you for watching on YouTube. Next week, we'll be back on YouTube Tuesday nights like normal. Porch will be manning up the chat, so we'll.
Well, we'll see about the Porsche thing.
No, she will.
Travis kicked her out last week, remember?
Wait.
On the show. This is the last time we're going to have Porsche on the air.
Oh, yeah, I remember something like that.
Yeah. So we can do this.
Either way, we'll have something figured out. Things are return back to normal next week. So tune in on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock as opposed to this week, which was Wednesday. The only reason why
top prospect tournament.
Okay.
And a match of the week candidate for me that was very up there in the front running for my pick was Dalton Castle against Christopher Daniels.
Nice.
The action was good. Silas on the ring doing commentary was good. Christopher Daniels trying to do poses to out Dalton and failing miserably. It was good. That's it.
Ta-da.
Yeah, bada bing. Now, Cock Block.
Oh,
Was it what you thought it was going to be?
Talking about Roadblock, by the way.
Roadblock. Yes. I didn't think that it was bad, but I think the wrestling between the bells was solid, but the outcomes and the storyline, non-progression, like it felt needless. Nothing really happened that's of consequence. Nothing was an actual roadblock to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. There was
Right.
no
status.
reason.
The status quo didn't change.
And even on like the softball things that like even if you change that up, it's not going to be that big of a deal.
Mhm.
Like Cass and Enzo, like they could have won the titles off of the Revival, and that would have been okay. You know, like that wasn't going to change the WrestleMania card or screw things up for NXT. It was something that could have happened that would have hyped up the crowd. Like there was only upside to Cass and Enzo winning, and they didn't win. They lost
Clean.
Yeah.
which is
Again.
yeah. With that's the problem with Cass and Enzo. Cass and Enzo, everybody loves them. People think they're great. They were fired up at the pay-per-view or Roadblock, whatever you want to call it, a special event. People were behind them. The arena just popped for them really huge, and they just lost. I mean, nothing against the Revival. I like the Revival, but I don't know. Like that was the softball. I think that they said, well, if we're not going to change anything, we'll at least do this.
Mhm.
We'll have a little bit of
Right.
fucking fan service, a scotch of fan service, and we didn't even get
The
that.
worst part about Cass and Enzo not winning, there's twofold actually. One, they lost clean. It's like the heels didn't have to cheat or anything. They just beat them. There you go. They just won. Secondly, this is a WWE event, so the announcers had to kind of put over who Cass and Enzo and the Revival was, and they had I don't know if it was package. I can't remember if it was packages or not.
There was a
yeah.
vignette, yeah.
But there was thing like talking about how long Cass and Enzo's been there, and what they've done, what they haven't done, this and that. And it's like, okay, so you're basically building your what is NXT like to say, the road to when they won when Sami Zayn and
Road to Redemption.
Yeah, Road to Redemption. It's kind of like that, but they didn't. Nothing happened. So it's kind of like they're just a bunch of losers. I mean, really. I mean, because if you're not watching it, if you just don't know who these people are, well, they're entertaining. They had a good.
Enough people knew how to follow along with the catchphrase.
But like,
it seems as though both WWE and NXT have the problem of this guy's a really great wrestler. Okay, let's give him a shit gimmick. This guy has a really great gimmick. Okay, let's book him in shitty matches or don't.
Let's book him unfavorably.
Yeah. Like if you have somebody with the talent on one side, they don't give you the other. Which that's exactly what they need to do. Cass and Enzo. They've got the charisma out of the wazoo, and they're good enough wrestlers.
Mhm.
They're not technical masters or anything. They're not setting the world on fire with an in-ring work, but they're solid enough to where, give them a fucking push. Like give them the stuff that they need to get over, to be built, to have people actually cheer for them. Like you could have made them just so on fire that people would say, wow, this is my favorite thing on TV right now, my favorite thing in NXT. People that don't normally watch NXT that happen to be watching this will be like, wow, these guys are cool. But they missed that opportunity.
And devil's advocate, or you can play the other side of the fence here, where as long as you're entertained by them, and you can put on good matches, you don't necessarily need the wins or the titles.
But that's only going to go for so long. Look at the Wyatts. Everybody was in love with the Wyatts 2 years ago.
Mhm.
Everybody thought the Wyatts was the best thing since shit on the stick. And like now they are shit on the stick.
Actually, I was going to say a more appropriate example would be Ziggler.
Him too. No, those are both good examples. Yeah.
Ziggler's face. Why it's her heels.
But still, I mean, it still fits.
So that was one match on the card.
How about Natty Charlotte?
Natty Charlotte. That was a solid match. I wasn't expecting it. You know, it seemed like they just kind of threw it on there.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
They threw it on there.
All right. Yeah, it was a good match, but, you know, nothing changed. Nothing happened.
Well, you know it wouldn't.
Yeah.
My issue, I'm kind of surprised this doesn't bother you unless it does, but we spent like how many weeks with Becky and Sasha, like going back and forth about the being number one contender and everything, and yes,
Dingy.
right. So we gone back and forth so many times with them being number one or trying to be number one contender to fight Charlotte, and they just give Natty a title shot.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, this seems kind of weird. And plus, you already know she's already going to defend the belt at WrestleMania. So is Natty the roadblock for Charlotte? I mean,
so the detour was pretty easy.
Well, I wouldn't say about that. I mean, I like this match mainly because it was a good spotlight for Natty.
You're right. The match itself was good.
Yeah, it was damn good.
Yeah.
Up until the main event, I was thinking this might be the match of the night for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
But Charlotte was on the receiving end like a little too much.
Okay.
From Natty, and then she just comes around and wins. I don't know if it's booking wise or what, but again, if I had to say, if you want to watch, I mean, if you want to put a spotlight on Natty, this is a good match to watch. Mm-hmm. For Charlotte, there's just another match, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think between Charlotte and Natty and the other two matches, I made this analogy yesterday. This felt like WrestleMania DLC.
Okay.
You're going through the origin of the road to WrestleMania. It's like, hey, everybody, look, the new DLC pack just played. Let's all download. Let's play that for a couple of weeks. And then you play that for a couple of weeks. And then once that story's done, okay, let's go back to the origin story so we can try to finish the rest of the game. That's what this felt like because everything went back to status quo after Roadblock.
Uh-huh.
You know, we had a decent match with Lesnar and Luke Harper. And I was like, okay, they're going to build up Lesnar versus Bray. It's all right, give me this Roadblock instead of Ambrose and Lesnar. Nah, Monday, back to normal.
Yeah.
Triple H, awesome match of the weekend for me with Ambrose as a main event match.
Mm-hmm.
More proof that I think Ambrose is a main event guy.
Yeah.
And guess what? He loses clean. And then on top of that, no, they fake him winning again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, he wins clean. And then on top of that, the next night on Raw, oh, hey, let's go back to normal. Dean Ambrose against Lesnar and Roman Reigns and Triple H. I was like, it was a nice house show. But after all that, what was the point?
Yeah. Man, no, yeah, that makes sense.
Like, what was the point?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
think WWE kind of dropped the ball themselves on the marketing of it because it was originally it was going to be, first it was a house show, and then it became, we're just going to air it on the network as a March to WrestleMania special. That's all it was going to be. This Roadblock gimmick that they did, that's what screwed everything up.
Mm-hmm.
They made a mountain out of molehill pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, I said it earlier by accident, like, oh, the pay-per-view. Well, it wasn't a pay-per-view, but they kind of made it out to be like it was going to be pay-per-view level shit, you know? Mm-hmm. And then they didn't do it, and then when they didn't do it, people were disappointed because, like you said, this was all like DLC stuff. You know, we had this storyline, we had everything that we were going to do at Mania. You were going to have Dean versus Triple H, or excuse me, Roman versus Triple H. You were going to have Dean versus Brock, and then
Charlotte, Sasha, Becky.
Yeah, and then like, oh, well, we're just going to diverge here for an alternate universe kind of storyline that might be canon. And
instead of finishing the story, we're going to go for achievement points first, and then we'll go back and finish.
Yeah.
It's a side mission.
Yeah, it was a really weird side mission that you thought was going to tie in, but it didn't really tie in. It was just the developers were playing around and wanting to get an extra, $20. Yeah,
but you know what? Everybody loves DLC for the most part, and this was a fun show for what it was. Right. Take away the whole WrestleMania aspect of it.
Take away the past and the future.
Exactly. This is
in the moment.
It was a great house show, and I love the fact that I was going to save this for a little bit later, but this was when you open it up, you see the stage. It's just a house show stage. Everything's kind of like stripped down to the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm. It looked good.
It looked good, and it made me feel like I was watching something that you would see like on Coliseum Home Video or something, where it wasn't like on prime time or Superstars or whatever. It was just something you had to purchase at the video store or whatever, and these are exclusive matches.
Yeah.
That's what it felt. That's the vibe that I got. The only thing was I hated seeing like the big announce booth, like it was like a Raw and you had 3 announcers. But other than that, that's a small nitpick. But that's the vibe that I got from the show. What about you guys as far as the overall show itself?
I loved the set. I loved it. It looked different. It looked
less is more.
Yeah, definitely less is more. And that's something that's been missing from actual pay-per-views. The last 5 years. You don't have different sets. Everything looks like Raw. That big. I mean, sure, that big ass LED is awesome. You can do a lot of stuff with it, but in the way of creativity of coming up with different sets, there's no different set anymore.
This isn't like Backlash '99 where you had like the little hook swinging in the entrance. Or No Way Out where you had like the fences and the little like the setup. Or like,
Armageddon where Jeff Hardy climbed up to the top of the thing where there's fire coming out and shit. Yeah.
Like it's not elaborate anymore.
Yeah.
I like the other fact I did like. I don't know if you guys noticed this. The ring was off center.
Was it?
Because instead of the ring being in the center of the building, it was closer towards the other end of the arena. Because if y'all didn't notice, that walkway was fucking long. It made when the wrestlers were coming out, it made them look like they were like almost a dome because they kept walking and there were still people, and then they kept walking and there were still people, and then they kept walking before they even got to the ring, and there was still fucking people. Like it looked like it was in a dome.
Yeah.
And then and I figured it out later on. I think somebody did a pose. I think Triple H did a pose on the corner. When you go to a basketball game, right in the center of the arena is where that big scoreboard is on the top, and it has the logo right underneath the scoreboard, so people that are on the floor can see, oh, hey, American Airlines and Toronto or whatever. Like you can see it like in the back, as opposed to it being completely above the ring. So it wasn't centered in the arena; it was pushed off more to where when you were looking in, when they were walking out, it would look like it was a bigger place. Like the old ECW episodes that they were doing on Tuesdays, where instead of the camera shot being like this way, they had the camera on top of the ramp so that you would get more rows of seats on the floor, and then you would get the bottom bowl. So it kind of looked like they were in a bigger place than they really were because of the camera angles. And that's the way they angled the ring, the whole floor layout. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But that's just my own personal opinion, because that's what set it apart for me. That and the minimal stage made the place look a whole lot bigger.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't either, but I believe you.
All right. A couple more things about the show. New Day.
I pre-ordered my cereal already.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I thought that was unveiled on Raw, not on.
No,
that was it. That's opened up.
That opened up the show.
About the Bootios?
Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. My days are blurring together a little bit.
There's a reason for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who did they fight at Roadblock?
They fought.
Barrett and Sheamus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So on there, this is the first time we saw Barrett in a ring or in a match.
Yeah.
I can't remember when.
In a while.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking,
where's the other two?
Well, like he's about to leave. They're not going to take the belts off a New Day. In my shit's about this a faction that we've been saying that it should have happened years ago because of the stupid video game.
Yeah, that wasn't even DLC. That was part of the actual fucking game. Yeah, it wasn't League of Nations. What did they call it? The European Union?
Something like that.
Something like
United,
that.
Whatever.
It was a great storyline in the game, and they finally made it 3 years later. They dropped the fucking ball on it. It was like, oh, these marks have been yelling about this for 3 years. I was gonna fucking give it to them, and then he gave it to us. It's like, fuck this shit. Like kind of like your mom making you a birthday cake, but you've been bad all week. And like, oh, you want a fucking cake? Here's your cake, and then throws it on the floor and stomps on it. Here's your fucking cake. Like that's how I feel. That's how I feel. This whole thing is with the fucking League of Nations, European Union, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like they haven't done shit with it, and everything they've done with it is
they dropped the ball whenever Sheamus dropped the belt, like a week after having the belt.
Yeah. No?
They dropped the ball when all 4 of them got beat up by Roman Reigns by himself.
Yeah, that's
every
true.
week.
Yeah, that too.
And then when they all got hurt.
Almost all of them, but yeah.
Enough, yeah.
Yeah. It's really been a revolving door to the medical staff offices of WWE.
There was another match on there, Roadblock. What else do we have not talked about?
Well, we haven't gone in detail with Lesnar versus Harper.
Okay, yeah, which was supposed to be Lesnar versus Bray, but then we pulled the old switcheroo and got Harper. And
What? No, because the night before, in another house show, it was Brock versus Harper and Bray.
It was Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman in his corner against Luke Harper with Bray Wyatt in his corner. That's how it was advertised.
Well, it was split. Well, one I saw was a handicap match, but Bray never got tagged in because Harper got beat so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
There's 5 suplexes and an F5, and that was it.
ooh,
Same. It's almost the same thing. What happened on Roadblock? Am I not right?
Something like
yeah,
that.
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, Harper put up a bit of a fight, but
Because it's supposed to be again a handicap match.
right, and Bray just kind of
No, it was advertised as Bray Wyatt versus
Yeah,
Brock
right,
Lesnar.
yeah.
Bray
and then they did the switcheroo where we thought it was going to be handicap, and then there was another switcheroo where it's like, hey, it's just Luke,
Yeah.
you know, and man, I don't know, it kind of made Bray look a little weak too, because you know
There was one spot. I don't
turned
remember.
his tail on
I
Reigns.
can't remember if it was on Roadblock or Raw, but there was a moment where, well, I guess it might have been Roadblock. Brock got in the ring. They were already in there, and Bray stood behind Harper.
Mhm.
I was like, really? This is the Devourer of Worlds, and you're hiding behind.
Mhm.
I don't know. They dropped the ball so many times with the Wyatts. So
Yeah, Bray is not a threat, and so many of their heels in WWE has the element of the cowardly heel. It's almost like you don't even have to say the cowardly heel anymore. Like if
Mhm.
you say a heel in WWE,
They're all chicken shits.
they're all chicken shits. All of them. And like, there's nobody that's a monster. There's nobody that's confident. There's nobody that's just an asshole.
and if you do get one like that, the fans respect that so much they start getting cheered and they turn him into a face.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, it's sad because you could see that get pulled off in other TV shows and promotions like Lucha Underground. Look at Mil Muertes. He isn't a chicken shit at all. And people still boo him.
Yeah, we're gonna get that here in a minute.
Yeah. But you know, for comparative
Right,
purposes,
right.
it's not that it doesn't exist, and it's not that in wrestling you're going to be a heel, you have to be a chicken shit. Like, no, you can have heels that are confident,
Mhm.
competent, and aren't fucking cowards
Or hide behind. But yeah.
Yeah.
So.
or inept.
Okay, so we'll transition from Roadblock to Raw.
All right.
Chris Jericho's mouth. His promo, ribbing all Canadians at Roadblock.
While being Canadian
Yeah,
in Canada.
he got heel heat within like 30 seconds in his own home country. Right? That's how it's done.
Yeah.
And then his mouth doing what the referee couldn't do when Neville got hurt in their match.
Mm-hmm.
This is like he's the MVP of the week for me.
Yeah. Now,
as far as like work wise, like being a
Yeah.
veteran, that's exhibit A and B of what a veteran does to stand out.
for anybody that did not see on Facebook the little videos of what actually happened during that match, and because I mean we're talking about it now as though with hindsight being 2020, and then seeing the video of what actually happened. Because during Raw, I was like, oh, that's weird. That's okay, DQ. All right, whatever. It's kind of stupid.
I had big
But
ears.
then-
I heard a lot of that.
Well,
I audibly heard Jericho say a lot of the stuff that we read later on.
Well, even some of that stuff he could have been saying in kayfabe, you know, and completely planned. But you know, looking back on it, rewatching it, seeing the videos on Facebook, seeing the fact that Neville was actually legit hurt, you do get that respect for Jericho. Like, wow, he pulled that off better than what the ref should have done, and he didn't. And you know, the way Jericho did everything was good. Despite the fact that now Neville has a broken shin and ankle, I believe.
Oh, is it reported?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't had a
he
chance
broke
to
his
look at any
ankle and
reports.
shin bone. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gone.
Yeah. For
Add that to the
while.
list of everybody that's been hurt.
Yeah, they're piling up the bodies out there.
The curse continues.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so sad, so depressing.
So that was your transition from.
Pick something from Raw.
I can't remember. Okay, let's start with one of the big WrestleMania matchups.
Oh man, okay.
No, I'll go to one here. Undertaker and Shane McMahon.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, no, it was just. It feels like. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's just more of the same.
How so?
Like last time Undertaker was on, he didn't really do anything.
Mm-hmm.
This time he was in the ring with both Vince and Shane, and we still don't know anything new about Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where they're going. I know Shane's been working out, apparently, or been training. But I don't know how much this match is gonna. Like, it's obviously gonna be more spectacle than, technical.
Yeah.
Obviously, but like they could have had a good opportunity to have, Shane or Undertaker say something, his thoughts on Vince, and then Shane get in his face about why, like he's provoking Undertaker when he doesn't even know why Undertaker's doing what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
and mentioned that in the promo. Like he could have tried to pull Undertaker strings back into.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like he before he didn't even do that. He just went straight into.
Well, I think Shane did do that, and I think it. Yeah, sure. Undertaker didn't say exactly what his reasoning was, but I think he tipped his hand a little bit when he got mad at the fact that Shane was accusing him of just being Vince's bitch and just doing what Vince says. And he's like, "I'm not Vince's bitch," So yeah, we don't have the full story yet, and that sucks. But I think the fact that after the dust settled with him and Shane, he tried to go after Vince. I think that is their attempt at a slow burn for showing that, there is tension between Taker and Vince, and maybe Taker doesn't like the fact that he's being manipulated by Vince.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was more explicit, and I wish that there was more there, more substance to it. But I
that's the problem.
That is the problem. That's the problem.
Last Monday's Raw somehow managed to kill my anticipation level for all three of the main events that they've advertised.
Okay.
Exhibit A is this match. 3 Raws, 2 SmackDowns. We still have no idea why the Undertaker is siding with Vince.
Mm-hmm.
None.
We have no idea what's in the box.
Nothing.
The lockbox.
Nothing.
No.
Shane punching Undertaker in the corner and then finding time to do his shuffle so he can punch some more. 30 seconds of what we saw of Shane and Undertaker being physical, and I already don't want to see this for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't want to see 20 minutes of this. I don't want to see 10 minutes of this. I don't want to see 5 minutes of this. Unless they're going to pull a magic swerve and they're just going to start the match. Taker's going to lay down and let Shane beat him.
This is for you YouTube people.
Oh, God.
What do we do every time we see each other? How do we greet each other? That is what we do every time we see each other.
Every time. Without fail.
That's not a lie. They actually do that.
This is our thing.
Disgusting.
Thanks to Bob Saget's show.
Right. There's a story behind there.
Yeah.
But what we just did, that shit that you people on YouTube just saw, that's pretty much what Shane and Undertaker were doing. They were just kind of play punching.
No, Shane was.
Yeah, Shane was.
Well, Taker too a little bit. Like he tried to get in some licks there too, and it just didn't. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Let alone inside a Hell in a Cell.
Yeah. With the obstructive view.
No. I'm already no. Yeah. So that's main event number 1.
All right, main event number 2.
Lesnar versus Ambrose.
Okay.
Yeah, we're back on track on this one again.
Yeah.
We're back on the status quo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Ambrose isn't going to win no championship.
Right. So
I've seen wrestlers have wrestling matches against Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
We might not like them all. Some of the Triple H matches were bad.
Yeah.
But there was at least some potential in some of those matches.
There was elements.
Brock Lesnar versus CM Punk, our match of the year pick from a couple of years ago. Brock Lesnar's John Cena, more great wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You can make 20 to 25 minute wrestling match with Brock Lesnar.
Right.
Because he's an NCAA champion, he's a UFC heavyweight champion, he's a WWE champion. I do not want to see Brock Lesnar fight somebody with a crowbar.
Right.
Multiply that by 1,000. I don't want to see Brock Lesnar fight anybody with a barbed wire bat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see somebody actually wrestle this motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that Ambrose, who's had great matches with Seth Rollins, with Triple H, have to stoop, in my opinion, stoop to the level of CCW for Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
It checked me out of that too. Like, I am not looking forward to that at all. Like, the promo from Paul Heyman was good. Lesnar's facial expressions, him even taunting, going down to the ring after Heyman had left. Ambrose is everything Ambrose does. But you combine those elements in the match, I don't want to see that. I want to see Ambrose nut up and actually beat Lesnar because he's got enough credibility and clout. I believe Ambrose is on the same level as Lesnar, that he can beat Lesnar physically, one-on-one, man-to-man, hand-to-hand.
Right.
So the fact that he's already breaking out crowbars and weapons and shit, it's already checked me out of that too. Like, I'm not interested in that.
You're forgetting one thing though. You talk about the credentials of Lesnar, but that was before WWE had a marketing thing for Suplex City.
Mm-hmm.
Look back at the last how many matches Lesnar's had.
Mm-hmm.
What are they?
Suplex City matches.
That's all they are because of that stupid catchphrase
Mm-hmm.
or the slogan or whatever the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not having wrestling matches anymore, Chris. So
the counter to that are the matches that Lesnar's been in. They're not advertised long enough for us to care.
Look, this is what Chris wants.
Mm-hmm.
Chris wants Lesnar versus CM Punk from SummerSlam 2 years ago.
Right.
But substitute Punk and put in Ambrose. That's what you want.
Basically.
And you know what? That's okay to want. I would love to see that. I want that too. Yeah. That'd be pretty good. I like to see him go toe to toe wrestling, hold for hold. Even though Dean's a little bit of a brawler. Now I understand that this kind of took you out of it. This didn't take me out of it. One, because I have a hell of an amount of respect for Foley. Anytime I see Foley on my TV, I am happy. You know.
Doesn't take a lot to make you happy.
Yeah. Well, hey, if it's Foley, it's got to be good. But here's my point. With Foley, I could kind of see where they're going with this with Dean, where they kind of want Dean to kind of embrace that craziness side of him that he was kind of known for back in the CZW and all the other indie shit that he did. But I think right now at this point, it's on the verge of being too little too late. They've been marketing him as being the lunatic, the crazy, Ambrose Asylum. We get the crazy, but we never saw the crazy car wreck in the ring that we saw with Foley. If they continue to play that side up, I think that we could have that actual torch pass from Foley to Dean. They haven't done it, but they've taken the steps. And if they continue with those steps, I am down because we need somebody like that because there isn't anybody else that's like that. Somebody that's that hardcore, crazy style, and it fits him because he already has the moniker of being the crazy guy.
I don't really necessarily want crazy. I want the Dean that drug his ass on the ground, waiting to get back, trying to get to Lesnar, just to get his head stepped on.
Yeah,
that's the Ambrose that I want.
Here's my rebuttal to that. I like the fact that I don't have to compare him with anybody. I don't have to look at the Sandman and say, "Oh, he's the Steve Austin. He drinks the beer. Here's another wrestler that's like this." I don't want the next Mick Foley. I want the Dean Ambrose.
Okay.
And the fact that he was his own character, he was his own person, he was his own persona, his own attitude. He was specific to himself. He was his own being. Now he's just expected to be the next Mick Foley. Well, just like Neville's expected to, just like Kalisto's expected to be the next Rey Mysterio, or every other wrestler that's the new generation supposed to somehow represent the old. Instead of carrying the torch, Ambrose was lighting his own fire. And now he's just another fucking Foley. Okay.
Now, I get that we don't want to have a carbon copy of Foley. I understand that. And that's not what I'm saying that I want him to be explicitly, just be another Foley. But we don't have a guy that is the guy that's willing to be the crazy mofo that'll do all the stupid, ridiculous shit. Mm-hmm. So I think Dean can be that guy. And who's going to give enough credibility to Dean to be him? Why not be Foley? I get it. I'm not saying I want him to be a carbon copy of Foley.
That's how it, to me, that's how it came across as. Okay. Like, okay, I haven't seen Foley in months on WWE television.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a particular storyline with anyone else. So as much as I like Foley, there's no reason for me to see Foley on my television.
Yeah.
None. So why is he there? So the fact that he gave Ambrose the bat, I was like, oh, great.
I kind of liked it. I don't know. I like it.
I kind of agree with you. The fact that it was out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because he just used a crowbar earlier in the night, and hopefully just happened to be there with a package.
You know what it should have been? It should have been before he busted out the crowbar. Fully give him the crowbar, not give him Barbie. You know, because Barbie, it seems too much like Foley. But with the crowbar, that could have been Dean's thing. No, I mean, when's the last time we've had a guy that had a signature weapon? You know,
and that's the other point that I'm trying to make.
No, I understand. I'm agreeing with your point there.
We needed to make Foley.
Yeah.
In '99 too. Up to that shit.
Yeah.
Like if he would have pulled that out under the ring halfway through the match, ooh, I wasn't expecting that. It's a street fight. We've seen Ambrose with the crowbar. We've seen Ambrose do certain things already. I can kind of understand if he just found it in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
To have Mick Foley present it to him like the fucking lightsaber in The Force Awakens, nah. I'm sorry, bro.
Well, one thing we kind of glossed over that I kind of wanted to spend a little more time on was going back to Roadblock, the main event. Since we're talking about
yeah, Triple H versus Ambrose.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of fucking forgot about that.
No, we didn't.
No?
No,
We touched on it. We didn't
exactly
elaborate. Yeah.
So
well, he wanted to do more than a touch on it.
You want to cop a feel?
Yeah.
Not really. That's y'all's department.
Oh.
Up until the Charlotte match, I thought the Charlotte match was gonna be the match tonight. I thought this kind of set a stage. Although my one issue with this was to me it was a forced controversy. I don't know, the whole foot under the rope thing.
Yeah.
And to me, it doesn't look like he was under the rope.
No, it didn't look like it from my vantage point either.
No, it was just another way of
the same vantage point in the network.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for clarifying.
Yeah.
What do you think about him pinning him 1, 2, 3, but not?
Well, I was a sucker. I bought it, and then like, oh, his foot was on the rope.
Was it
really?
That's what I was. Yeah.
Like, I think they botched that. I think he was supposed to be under the rope. Like that was the way it was booked, but he just happened to not be close enough. That's why they didn't show it from another angle or this and that, and they just, like, hey, Dean, you're not close enough to the rope. What the fuck, And they just said, well, he happened to be under the rope. So I think that was a little bit of a botch.
I've already been fooled by WWE enough times until the program is over and it fades to black with the WWE logo on the corner with Ambrose in the entranceway with the belt. I was not going to be surprised at all. So I didn't react to it.
Let me ask you this: when the match started, seriously, what was on a percentage side? Like how much did you think that they were actually going to switch the title?
About 75%.
That they were going to switch it?
Ambrose was
Lord. I thought it was like a 15% chance that they were going to switch the title. Like I didn't think Dean was leaving.
Part of me, I was leaning more towards like they are.
This is the last chance to actually surprise us with something.
Yeah,
and it all goes back to Roman Reigns. Like he is not getting reactions that you would think that your face needs to be.
He's not getting the reactions that Dean's getting.
yeah, they're doing a better job with Dean than with Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's happening so organically, so fluidly with Dean that Roman is just painfully obvious how much is forced. So, but anyway, the match itself, going back to the main event, the match itself I thought it was really good, back and forth.
Match of the candidate for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was probably, you know what, I'd probably even say that's the match of the night for me.
From the pay-per-view.
It's a close one between.
Again, not a fucking pay-per-view.
Well, nothing's really pay-per-view anymore.
Well,
Unless you count that it is because you're paying for the network, and then if that's the case, then it is a pay-per-view.
meh. Special event, whatever. Okay, back to our Raw talk.
Which goes back into we talked about Undertaker Shane. We talked about
Dean Brock.
We talked about Dean Brock, and
Now Triple H and Roman. Wait. Oh shit! I dropped the bell. Oops.
When Dolph Ziggler gets a bigger reaction than Roman Reigns, that's a problem. When Ziggler is actually stepping up to Stephanie McMahon's face in front of Triple H, when Roman Reigns won't, that's a big problem.
Did y'all that promo with Ziggler? Did y'all think that was going to be a heel turn for Ziggler? I was getting that.
No, I was thinking Ziggler legit got in trouble for that stupid tweet, and I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired after this Raw. Like literally at that point, I was like, there's no reason for him to be out here unless he's about to get like seriously fucking fired, basically.
Ooh.
In that order?
In that order. Like it made no sense why he's out there now. And the fact that he was getting a bigger reaction and that another match of the week candidate, Ziggler and Triple H, was more entertaining than anything I've seen out of Roman and Triple H so far.
Hold up. I got beef with this match. And again, it's not with the match itself. And not with what happened between the bells. It's the ending. The stipulation was that Ziggler gets to have a match at Mania if he wins.
Yeah. Okay,
so that means he should win. That way he has a match. But no, they have him lose. All right, I can understand if people want to, take the stance that, oh well, it's just because if he loses, there's more You really threw me off, Chris. If he loses, then he has
more sympathy.
Yeah, more sympathy. He has a chance to get more
heat on Triple H.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're gonna do that, like, why wasn't there like, well, if you win, you get this, and if you lose, you're fired, or something like that? Where it was like, oh man, something bad's gonna happen. No, it's just like if you win, you get a match at Mania. Okay, good. Well, it's Ziggler. He should have a match at Mania. He's not getting the title, and all right, why not actually have him win? Like now, it's guess who's not having a match at Mania? Ziggler. Okay, great. How is that a good marketing ploy? Like
one of your only non-injured wrestlers.
Yeah. One of your only non-injured wrestlers. One of your baby faces that everybody likes. Somebody that actually puts butts in seats. Somebody that people actually cheer for.
Some vaginas do cream for Ziggler.
Yeah, and you're advertising him as not being on the show. Well, what the fuck? Like, wow, that's really gonna put butts in seats. Like, I'm really gonna go out and get the network if I'm a non-network subscriber or whatever. I'm gonna go out and get the network so I could watch WrestleMania and see not Dolph Ziggler. Like, if I'm a Ziggler fan and I want to see Ziggler, you say, hey, he's gonna be on Mania, I'm more inclined to actually watch Mania. But if I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan and you say, hey, Ziggler's not gonna be on Mania, hey, guess what? I'm less inclined to watch Mania. It's back assward as booking.
I'm gonna call myself out for completely bitching about Roadblock for not giving us something unexpected, because they couldn't have done this any more basically to do it right. You want to build heat between Triple H and Reigns? Have Reigns cost Triple H the fucking match.
Yes.
To have Ziggler win.
Yes.
Not have Ziggler lose. Oh, when? Damn it. After all that, Lesnar comes out. That was
Roman. Yeah.
At this point, I don't give a fuck about any of them. Like, what the hell?
It was it's funny you should say that, because that could have been a good, not repeat, but just homage to Stone Cold coming out and helping Mick Foley win the title.
Exactly.
That would have been a better pop or whatever that Roman, because Roman, like, after his music hit, his return to Raw after what, 2-3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
After Jesus Christ, surgical reconstruction. No,
Surgically reconstructed facial expressions.
Yeah, almost that right.
Rhinoplasty. Tom's rhinoplasty.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, Cole making it sound like his
He
whole
got his
face was
sniffer fixed, basically.
Yeah. But Cole saying total
he had
reconstruction.
it removed from Vince's ass.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, still there.
Oh.
No, he had it removed from The Rock's ass
Oh.
when he figured out that even The Rock couldn't help him get over.
Well.
But anyway, yeah. Back to whatever the hell we were saying before. That's what could have happened, but it didn't. So whatever. Go ahead.
Okay. Going back because hey, it looks like we kind of had a round and about way of seeing what the hell's going on in the chat. Somebody was chatting on there, and Porsche is watching, and so she sent me a message.
She could do her job remotely. She ain't got to come to more. See, we just figured it out.
Oh, well, there we go.
We'll be back to normal from now on. Thank you.
Apparently, the consensus in the chat is that hardcore matches are Dean Ambrose's thing. So I guess
From what?
From CZ Dub.
How many years ago was that?
Apparently back in the day, but I kind of agree with you. I didn't watch any of that stuff. I didn't see any of his indie things. So as somebody that's like me who doesn't know a lot about him,
casual fans that are getting introduced to NXT, that's how we feel right now, getting introduced to CZW Ambrose Moxley.
Yeah. What the fuck is CCW?
Yeah, I don't know.
No, I know what it is.
Crazy ass wrestling with instead of ASS AZZ, and they use the Z instead of
it's basically all hardcore wrestling.
Yeah. But
it's the wrestler movie for real. They staple your nuts shut.
Yeah, it's German dungeon porn. That's what it is.
I don't want any part of that.
Like you got Rammstein playing in the background the entire time.
Du hast mich gefragt.
Oh, Rammstein?
Yeah. Rammstein. Yeah, whatever. Rammstein. That Rammstein. But anyway,
Rammstein fits related
to the Goldbergs?
Yeah. Gilbert's. But okay, we get it that's like his thing from back in the day.
I guess from what people are telling.
But even right now, so you need to build that, and it may have been a little bit too late with Foley, 3 weeks away from Mania, but I'm okay with it if they develop it and they're more consistent with it, and we see a crazy side of Dean, and we see this other aspect of his character. He doesn't need to be all that all the time. It needs to be something else to round out and make his character more deep.
All you CZW Moxley fans that are expecting a hardcore Dean Ambrose are going to get very disappointed when he comes rolling out the hot dog cart again and hitting people with mustard and ketchup. And you're going to complain about that too. Fuck you.
Welcome to the PG world, ladies and gentlemen.
That's in a nutshell. You're not going to like this watered down thing of Moxley.
It's not like they're going to take a
you see the headlights coming. You want to stay in the way. Don't complain when you get run over.
Yeah, they're not going to pierce his cheek. They're not going to get out a cheese grater and rub it on his head. They're not going to get a chainsaw and chainsaw part of his back. They're not going to do.
What's going on in that?
We're not going to get a live euthanasia on Raw. Yeah. No live euthanasias. None.
Yeah, we're not going to get a whole lot of that stuff.
Well, then I'm not going to order a WrestleMania.
Yeah, because of that and Dolph Ziggler.
If you want to see Brock Lesnar get a vasectomy live in WrestleMania, you're going to be disappointed. What wasn't disappointing? New Day again on Raw.
What happened? What happened on Raw? New Day.
The crowd has been overly cheering them for a while now.
Their faces now.
The booking, they were booked officially now as faces because the 4 of the League of Nations members got beat down. It doesn't matter what we think. It doesn't matter what the fans in one arena thinks. We're the minority. When the booking decides, hey, we're going to make them look like they're going to be the faces, that's when they're officially faces. Right. And officially, as of Monday, they are faces.
Right.
When they went out there to cut their promo, they didn't say anything derogatory about the city they were in.
Right.
And I'm okay with this because they're still funny. They're still the New Day. I like it. I like them.
I'm worried because whenever heels are funny in WWE, this goes back way, and this is not just recent. This is whenever heels are funny in WWE, it's funny on a more natural level. in a more adult level. Like, and then whenever they get over because they're funny, and they become faces, it becomes cheesy.
It becomes rated G.
There you go. And that's what I'm thinking is going to happen with New Day.
You're afraid the New Day is going to get cheesy.
Cheesier. Cheesier. Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying?
No, that might work for the New Day because since they're already so fucking cheese as it is, they can become faces. You can't get any more cheesy than what they already are.
One of the
so
things,
it could work.
okay, well, here's one of the aspects of their little gimmick that they do before the matches. They're going off and they're insulting the wrestler or the town or whoever that they're affecting them, and then they'll have such a bad delivery of the insult that they just nail on someone, but it's still bad. But they'll laugh with each other about it.
Yeah.
How's that gonna work if they're not like trying to be assholes, like trying to be douches? You know?
The Roadblock promo where they made fun of everybody in the League of Nations, and then they stop and goes, "Oh wait, you don't have anything for Rusev? Oh man, we don't have anything for Rusev. What about Rusev? Oh, the hell with it. Don't worry about it. It's just Rusev. Nobody cares about him anyway. He drugged Lana. Fuck it. Like that.
That was
They
good.
found a way
That
to
was
go
good.
work around it as faces.
And I understand your concern, Travis, but I have faith that they will be able to work around it because they are good enough at their comedic timing. I think they can pull it off. It remains to be seen. I mean, you could wind up being right, but I could wind up being right, but we don't know until we get there.
The bigger deal is that up to this point, this wasn't supposed to work.
True.
They've been making it work.
True.
And if they've been making it work for so long, this isn't, I'm not going to be blaming WWE Creative if this fails. We're going to be blaming the New Day if it fails because this is all on them.
There's
all this momentum,
church choir group.
Everything that's gone, every good deed and bad deed that's gone to the New Day has been because of themselves, not because of anyone behind them.
Yeah, and I'll take that. And then I'll also say, again, whenever a team or a wrestler gets over on their own, and then they're over, WWE Creative latches onto it and waters the shit down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I'm sure WWE Creative had, or at least somebody in the machine had something to do with making the Booty-O's come to life. You know, so maybe WWE's taking it and not overkilling it. I don't know. Well, we just have to wait and see. I mean, the other person that has successfully created something out of nothing was The Rock. You know, he was supposed to be the heel. Everyone was supposed to hate him, you know, and then he just kind of got to that point where he was fresh and funny enough that he got over. And, yeah, you can say that maybe Creative tried to fuck him over a little bit by being too much, but he stuck with his guns and he kept doing his promos his way, and he kept it fresh. Yeah, sure, he was Mr. Catchphrase, and sometimes people would just groan at his fucking catchphrases, but once the one catchphrase kind of went away, you know what?
You don't ever groan at The Rock.
Anything from Raw that we missed that's worth talking about?
I don't know.
Keep in mind, we got better stuff to talk about.
We do have better stuff to talk about.
Oh, by the way, it was announced today, the match at WrestleMania for the tag team titles. First time ever, 4-on-3 handicap match.
Yes.
For the tag team titles. So it'll be all 3 members of the New Day against all 4 members of League of Nations.
If they're not injured.
Yeah.
Is that because of the whole beatdown after? Okay.
Yeah.
So was I was expecting, like, when the beatdown was going on, I was expecting someone's music to hit and someone to come out and be the 4th person for.
I don't know.
Mark Henry.
That's the only thing.
No. Nobody can. There's nobody that can fit in with that group.
Mark Henry could.
No.
I think he'd be like the quiet in the background straight guy that everybody bounces off of. I think it could work.
Why mess up a good thing?
I don't think
they already have a 4th. It's Francesca.
Okay, well, I'm not saying it would have worked. I'm just saying this scenario, the way it was played out. With anytime you have more heels than faces in a ring, and the heels are beaten down and taking charge, someone's music normally hits.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
That's why it's okay for 4-on-3 for Xavier Woods to bring out Francesca and hit somebody and tag it and have the trombone, leave the trombone on top of Rusev, and the trombone pins him.
Oh God, that'd be so stupid.
And then the rematch, Sheamus puts the trombone in the clover leaf, and the trombone passes out, and that's how they win the titles. That's how stupid it can get. You shake your head now, but if they find a way to make it work,
you know, I'm going to the show. I'll see you next week. All right, here's one other thing about the New Day. if it is going to be 4-on-3 at Mania, I think to me this screams, hey, get everyone in the match so that everyone has their fucking payday. But the other thing that it could be, what if they put the tag titles on the line in a 4-on-3 match? I mean, they're inducting the Freebirds into the Hall of Fame. They've already talked about how, Freebird rules with
that's been on commentary for months now.
Exactly. And I mean, Xavier was in there, it was either at Roadblock or on Raw, actually fighting. Yeah. So I can see how this established that they're Freebird rules. So why not have all 3 of them versus all 4 of the other ones in the tag match?
There's no guarantee all 4 of them will make it either.
Well, I know, but I mean, why the fuck not? And I'd be okay with it. I mean, there might be some people out there like, no, it has to, for a tag title, it has to be 2-on-2. Yeah. But yeah, fuck it. Why not? Why not have 4-on-3? Put the tag belts on the line. Yeah. Okay. Before we wrap up our Raw talk and our WWE talk, something else from the chat line here. A certain Jordy Hawkswell posed this question to us. Trav, you might want to get in on this. Will this be the worst WrestleMania?
What's going on? What?
We have a guy on the chat who asked earlier, Jordy Hawkswell. Will this be the worst WrestleMania?
The worst?
Worst.
A little too soon to tell, but it can't be worse than 9, right?
Thank you. That's where I was gonna go. Right? 9 was pretty damn bad, especially with it being something out of that age where it wasn't.
No, 9 was the start of all the gimmicks. Or the bad 90s gimmicks.
Yeah, like to say that that was bad. It had to have been really bad.
11 was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
25 was bad.
25 was real bad.
25 had a redeeming quality.
What was that?
Taker
Sean. Yeah.
Other than Austin getting inducted in the Hall of Fame,
but that's not Mania.
The revival of Ricky Steamboat. What are you talking about? Come on.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Jericho
actually
getting knocked the fuck out by Mickey Rourke. Yeah. Okay, so is this Mania going to be the worst?
This one?
Yeah.
Well,
me too.
Does it
have the potential?
Well, anything's got the potential to be the worst, especially coming from me. But I mean, I've rated things in the negative before, so
yeah.
If either Roman Reigns, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, Undertaker, or Shane McMahon, within the next 3 weeks, if either one of those 6 guys get injured and can't make the pay-per-view, this will be the worst WrestleMania. Because you can't book any of this, you can't replace any of this shit on the fly. They won't.
If the match with Shane and Taker is shitty, which is probably
I'm already assuming.
No, listen. If it's going to be shitty, which it probably is going to be, and there's no shenanigans, Taker wins clean, and that's the end. Put a chocolate up on the sub column. If Triple H wins clean with no shenanigans, nothing, just pins Roman, that's another one on the sub column. If the match between Dean and Brock is a weird ass brawl, is a weird ass brawl where there is no actual wrestling and it's just spot, and Lesnar turns purple from just like these weird ass spots, and then Lesnar just wins with like a suplex. It's gonna be another one in the suck column.
What about Ryback against Kalisto for the U.S. title?
That's already in the suck column.
That was already confirmed. Kalisto accepted the challenge. So I think that's gonna be a match for WrestleMania also.
Yeah,
Number 5, the Usos against the Dudleys.
That's already in the suck column. Doesn't matter who wins.
Paige, Charlotte, Becky.
I don't think it's gonna be Paige, Charlotte, Becky. I think they're gonna go with that team.
I'm sorry, not Paige, Charlotte, Becky. Sasha, Charlotte, Becky.
Okay, that could be the redeeming thing.
The 4-on-4 chick match
that's gonna be shit. Probably.
That's a bathroom break right there.
That's a bathroom.
What about Owens' match with what would probably be Sami Zayn?
That could be redeeming. Could I mean, if it stays like that?
No, if we have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn,
that could be a redeeming one. No matter who wins that one.
That's gonna be a good match. That's got story. That's got talent. That's a good match right there.
And we still don't know what AJ Styles is doing.
Probably something with Y2J.
It's got to be Y2J. Y2J. Oh.
Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. All right. We haven't talked about AJ and Y2J.
Well, we talked about Y2J a lot, but AJ wasn't really in the picture.
Did y'all watch SmackDown where he burned the shirt?
No, I did not see that, but I saw the replay of it,
I
or
saw
the
that,
recap, or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, he burnt a shirt.
Yeah.
Shirt that they just started producing.
Which is now limited edition for the people that want to ordering it.
Yeah, I know,
That's
right?
going for hundreds on eBay right now.
I bet.
No, you gotta love the way WWE played that whole situation out.
Yeah.
I mean, they played everybody for fools,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Call it a red herring or call it what you want,
Yeah.
call it good marketing, call it a good storyline, but they had shirts up on Top Zone. I guess people bought them. People
bought them.
Yeah.
People are stupid.
Okay. Now are we done with WWE?
Yeah.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Lucha Underground. So not
And
only,
Lucha Underground, and by the way, Lucha Underground.
yes, our trip, the HWR family road trip.
If you like Lucha Underground, stick around.
to
If
Austin.
you don't like Lucha, turn it off now.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great trip. So, but
Yeah, if you don't like Lucha, then toodles.
all right, you two people, stay right there. This break is for the podcasting purposes on the record. So yeah, keep them entertained.
No.
Hey,
Saving the file.
when did you want to do the Steve Austin thing? That should have been probably the WWE part, right?
What were you gonna do?
I didn't even go buy beer.
There you go.
The moments.
Oh, that.
We can end the show
What
with
the fuck
that.
are you talking about?
Talking about him going and buying beer.
Yeah. Let me say that for the end of the show.
Fucking.
Can you click on that to see who's actually the viewers or no?
I don't know, never tried. Probably nope.
No.
You would think that there's a way.
We're not technical savvy at all. We're professionals. For that
We're
matter.
professional wrestling fans.
Shut up.
We're pros at being fans. It sucks. They don't pay us enough.
You get paid.
Well, I do.
By the way, you're trying to hide that, but Doofus, you've been doing this the whole time.
Well, I even have my tie still tied. It's cassettes, y'all. Cassette tapes. Remember back in the days? Yeah. Oh, boom boxes? Yeah.
Dude, Toy Dojo would have Ravage, the Transformer Ravage, big enough to transform into a life-size cassette, and his case that it comes in is a fucking cassette case. Come on. Oh, that's so bad.
At $40, I would have bought that hose. Not at 60 plus tax.
Oh, that's too much.
Damn. Little shout out to Toy Dojo in Austin.
I did.
God, fuck.
I tagged him in a post on the Pop Culture Rewind Facebook page.
Really?
I tagged him in a post. I said that if you're in the Austin area, go check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. Wait till y'all hear this talk about what we just did in Austin. Woo-hoo.
Oh man, we did a whole lot of nothing. Waited in line for 5 fucking hours for
Well,
4 matches.
What is spoil it?
For 4 matches.
Hey, quality requirement.
Yeah, we'll get to that. 'Cause I got a bone to pick now that the adrenaline's worn off.
Ooh.
No, I'm just kidding. Fuck no. We gotta go back to Austin, man. Dude, as a matter of fact, that's the same logo that's on the Hot Wheel for the Joker.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I knew it looked familiar when I saw the damn car. Oh man. Oh man, hopefully our friend and me from Renegade Wrestling something or other, Jamie's all right. Poor Mustang. Yeah. Got in a wreck today and wrecked his Mustang. It's never too late to be a Camaro fan. God was telling you that. That's probably why he got in that wreck. What else? Oh, I'm planning another road trip.
You.
At the end of July, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Yep. The first rock concert in the new US Bank Stadium. It's going to be Metallica, Avenged Sevenfold, and Volbeat. I know I got your attention, huh?
Well, say that one more time.
Metallica,
Uh-huh.
Avenged Sevenfold,
Uh-huh.
Volbeat.
You haven't eaten Metallica. Avenged Sevenfold, okay. I don't know the last one.
Volbeat, you'll like them. They opened for Motorhead when they came
Is that
down.
their credentials?
Yeah. They play
the resume.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of covers. Like they've done Slayer, they've done Ronnie James Dio. They're good live. They're really good live. That's going to be fun. I'm already planning that.
Shit, man! I meant to go out and buy a green shirt for tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you can wear your hat.
Wear my hat to work, dude.
Oh, don't go to work.
Kind of have to, man.
Wait. The guy that doesn't have a boss just told you don't go to work.
I didn't want to go there, but yeah, he did do that.
The guy who's his own boss, who decided not to work until 4 o'clock today and made $0, which converts to 0 pesos, which converts to 0 euros, which converts to butt fuckery.
I made more than $0.
I'm about to say, I thought I was going to say, I made more than butt fuckery.
Almost butt fuckery.
Yeah, I was one hole away.
He won a shocker.
Oh, very shocking. So, YouTube exclusive.
That was our little Pound the Chick exclusive moment, sponsored by Pound the Chick. He literally measures his pussy in weight. You were saying YouTube exclusive, or was that enough?
Did you want to explain?
Did you save? What did you save that?
Yeah, I saved it.
Okay.
Did you want to explain the Bob Saget Strange Days?
There's an episode. There's an episode of Strange Days with Bob Saget,
which was a show that was like less than a season
on
long.
A&E.
Yeah.
And they did an episode about pro wrestling, and one of the segments was a tag team that wrestled for a promotion in California, and they were brothers, and that's how they salute each other in the ring. They
No, that was his kids.
No, they do it too.
Oh, okay.
They do it in the ring too.
Okay.
Yeah, and we both saw it, and I did it to him without him knowing what I was doing, and then when he figured it out, that suddenly became our thing. So that's like what we have.
See,
that's what we share.
I think you didn't do the part of the show justice. Like this show was so ridiculous. Like, okay, yeah, there was this episode where he went to
Luke Hawx is in it.
What the premise of the show was is that it was an hour-long show.
Luke Hawx, you say?
Yes.
30 minutes.
Oh yeah, 30-minute long show.
And Dean Ambrose.
Of Bob Saget going around to different people that did different weird things. And yeah, like this one episode, pro wrestling. There was another episode where he got.
Where did the episode start?
When did it start?
No, where did the episode start? When he was talking about wrestling, where did he go first?
Did he go to Mexico first?
No.
Where did he go first?
Sucker. Backyard. That it all started
yeah.
somewhere. So he went to a backyard wrestling show in some suburbia house backyard in front of like 20 family and friends.
Yeah.
And then he went to the church where they were having this show, where it was Sunday in Mexico. Sunday, you wake up, you have breakfast, you go to church.
Seeing if it was still working. It's going, but
Are we back?
we're back. But
What's with this thing?
I don't know. Something with YouTube.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. You have no idea what's actually causing it. It just
It's just
works and then it just stops.
It just cuts off.
So
I wonder, does that mean that when we go to save it later as an actual YouTube video, is it going to be?
no, I checked it earlier, and it's still just one file so far. But
okay, well, should we go ahead and start the show before this thing fucks up again?
it'll probably fuck up again.
It's gonna fuck up some more.
Yeah. But yeah, we need to get going because
yeah,
it's already 9:15. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, but it's recording, so someone needs to hit the go button over there.
You mean that button?
All right, guys, and we are back. Thank you so much for sticking through the commercial break. We are, man, we are so tired still.
We're running on fumes.
Yeah, we are. We had one hell of a past couple of days. You know, I mean, we had Roadblock and we had Raw and whatever. But Tuesday, we went down to Austin, Texas, because Lucha Underground was going to have a show during South by Southwest, and we had signed up for passes and went. And so we had a little middle of the work week road trip.
We'll stop you right there.
Yeah.
We have to go chronological order.
How's
Because
that?
they actually played that into the show.
Okay,
So we're going to discuss the episode first, Lucha Underground.
let's do it.
Famous B!
All right, I have a question for people out there. Last week, Chris called Famous B on air and got the Famous B voice message.
And what did I tell them?
You told them that they have homework for them to go on and.
What did I tell Famous B?
Oh, you told him to go fuck himself, pretty much, in a roundabout way. But yeah, we wanted to know if anybody else out there called up Famous B and left them annoying voice messages and say, hey, this is from your friends at Houston Wrestling Radio or whatever. Let us know if you called them. Tell us the stories. We want to know. Put it on our Facebook page or whatever. Hopefully some more of you have been calling, because they even run another vignette of him with some busted up from the flow up chick.
You toe up, flow up. No, you know what? These commercials, I said it from the very first commercial they did.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, they made me care about Famous B in how many
seconds,
however long that commercial was, and then it's just gotten better these last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. For the rest of the season, that's all I want to see at Famous B.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like that little. It's become like a transition scene. Like not this week, but the week before, it was like, you know, and someone's watching TV and they're like
Dragon as Teco watching it.
Yeah, exactly. So I want more of that. Just like that's the only time we see Famous B.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting more. It's.
Oh man.
What?
I was hoping he'd become like Rita Repulsa and go to the ring every week and make superstars. Like, oh, you're an idiot? Let me hit you with my magic wand. Kadoosh. And all of a sudden we have a brand new luchador. It's a tape show. Like literally pause it and do that shit in the ring.
Like here's Chris. Kadoosh. Antonio Picante. Olé!
We should have kept the pose and just stare at each other like in the commercial.
Oh, yeah.
4, 2, 3, get fame.
No, it's 4, 2, 3, get fame.
Ding.
Get my little dinger.
Travis was the first to watch this episode, so he
Yes.
informed me that I had to watch the Cage versus Mundo hardcore match.
Because that was a match that was, they mentioned it the week before that was going to be one of the main matches on the show. So
What did we get?
Well, we got, Cage was in the ring ready for his match, and then the lovely Melissa, she called out for Mundo, or Mundo's music hit, whatever.
And did she do the little point thing she always does?
Mundo.
Anyway,
She does that for everyone. She uses the same gesture.
Except for Pentagon.
Oh, she runs like a bitch when Pentagon comes out because she
That's true.
knows she's gonna get it in all. Settle me. Go before we keep interrupting you.
3, 4.
Oh, y'all are doing a fine job yourselves.
Sorry.
So, Taya came out.
Who?
Taya.
Taya?
La Güera Loca, which is Spanish for
Mayo?
crazy white chick.
Yeah.
I remember I dated one of those.
So discount store Melina.
More or less.
Okay.
Melina version 2. I guess. I don't know.
She took a whooping.
She took a big whooping.
Wait, what do you mean she took a whoop?
Well, she challenged because she said.
So instead of Mundo,
yeah,
it was her.
Right.
Got in the ring.
Right. She said that Mundo already beat you. Now it's my turn. You're a machine, but see if you got any balls.
Boom.
No, you're not a man.
Boom.
You're not a man, but I don't want to see you got some balls. Pretty much, more or less, is what you're saying. And he's like,
probably could have figured it out a different way.
Probably. Well, she did a little
Cage
over.
didn't need to pay for that.
Yeah. But anyway, so
if Mundo isn't.
So the match started and it went out. I mean,
she took it. She gave it, and she definitely took it.
No, it was funny because she started the match by slapping him across the face. And if you heard Vampiro, he's like, "Can we call it a bitch slap?"
Yes.
And then right after that, bam, clothesline from hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it goes from there.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. A power bomb into the gate stand bleacher thing.
Held on to her.
Also known.
Shoved his face in her cooch.
Also known in the Fifth Ward as the dig out.
Yeah. Okay. The dig out. And then turned around and did another dig out right onto the pole of the rail.
Tossed her ass into the post.
Yeah, she must have stunk for him to toss her that hard.
Yeah.
All right. So and then
sushi pussy. Yes, Abel. That's
she's hardcore. She's hardcore. I don't know. Okay. So no, seriously. I mean, she took a beating that whole match.
That suplex out into the tables.
Oh.
Entertainment-wise, that's my match of the week candidate, and it could be my pick.
Okay.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm not. You know what? And it's not only because this match went on for a while of her just getting her ass whooped. She had a couple of comebacks.
She had some spots.
Yeah.
Some
those running knees to the face while he was in the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Dude, that looks sick.
Yeah.
But I think there was a. Did you do a buckle bomb on her?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just tossed her ass into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course Mundo came out towards the end. And then we thought that they were gonna pile on and pin him.
He kicked out.
With both of them, and it just went from there, and it became Cage versus them two, and it just kind of went on, and it made Cage look unstoppable.
Yeah,
especially he got hit with the lead pipe.
Yeah,
2 beer bottles.
Kind of no-sold him.
Yeah, the beer bottles he no-sold for sure.
But apparently Mundo forgot the origin story. Cage can take those.
Yeah, I guess so. If correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the first time we've ever really seen in Lucha Underground man versus woman match where the woman was the heel and the man was the face, and you kind of wanted to see the woman get beat up.
And Cage was, again, what we talked about earlier, booking made Cage the face because Cage was he didn't want to fight her.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the one hitting him. She agitated him to the point where, all right, I'm gonna beat the F out of you. And you sure enough did.
Equal rights, equal fights, right?
Yeah. Hey, I called that. You didn't pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put that on a shirt. International Women's Day, man. Fucking
Didn't Bruce Jenner win Women of the Year?
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost.
Great for Shim. Yeah. I think that pretty much put Todd and Taya on the same ranks as how I feel about pretty much every woman on that roster right now.
Yeah.
They are...
Oh, 2 of them.
4.
Yeah,
4. The women are just as convincing.
6 if you count the non-wrestling ones.
Actually, Marcus, we had a debut this week, too.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, let's get to it. We found the sister, Marty the Moth's sister.
Sister Abigail?
No, you were doing this joke earlier, trying to be funny about
Nobody
it. Nobody
laughed then either.
Yeah,
but like
I laughed.
You act like because no one else did. But you're acting like you didn't know. Did you seriously not know that storyline or anything else going on?
I completely forgot about it.
The whole thing from the start from the season?
Yeah.
Or actually from the finale of the last season.
Yeah.
When Marty kidnapped Sexy Star.
Yeah.
And was doing whatever I don't know what he's doing to her, but
we met the sister, Mariposa. That's Marty the Moth's sister.
Is that Spanish?
And for people that don't know,
yeah.
Mariposa is Spanish for butterfly.
Ta-da.
I was going to say, is that Spanish for Melissa? Cheerleader Melissa?
That's cheerleader Melissa?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I think she's using that outfit on her little profile picture on social media.
Okay.
So
Freaking kayfabe over
But
here.
no, because they have whatever her name is.
Mariposa.
Mariposa.
there you
Is
go.
that it? Okay.
Just say Mary Pussy.
Okay. So they have her. They have the Cobra Moon.
Yeah.
We have Evilise, Sexy Star, Taya.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And then Katrina and Melissa.
yeah, so
7.
They had 6 in the debut. Yeah, 7. Wow.
Yeah.
And we're just pulling numbers out of our ass.
No, we weren't.
So that, I mean, that was the whole thing. But they're incorporating the Mac into this storyline. So it's him, and so he's gonna have that with.
Chuckle of the week. Marty the Moth getting introduced by Melissa, and Melissa couldn't even keep her face. She couldn't even keep her composure. He's like, Marty the Moth, Marty, because she could tell that he was like right there behind her, like,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's what he does every time that she's that she calls her.
Yeah, it's a good stuff.
Yeah. That's the one thing. If we haven't mentioned that before about Lucha, they are so consistent with pretty much every aspect that they do. And I don't want to jump the gun yet, but there's something I saw with Melissa last night that
we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I saw it too.
Okay. Yeah.
I saw both of them. Backstage promo, Travis. Drago.
Yes.
Go for it.
Well, it was a setup. Apparently, Jack Evans was just reliving himself, if you will.
Yeah.
And Drago was being a creeper, stuck up behind him. Bust out the light to make it more creepier. And then Darewolf was in there for some reason to creep up the back.
He was next in line, apparently.
I guess.
Like, you're not going to cut in line?
But I like this team up of Darewolf and Jack Evans for some reason. Something about them. But anyway, they ganged up on Drago with nunchucks. Everybody had nunchucks for some reason.
A fellow chucker, eh? Bonus points for anybody that gets that reference. No one's gonna get that reference.
It better. It's a good movie.
And it ended up Aerostar evened up the game. So Aerostar and Drago. Well, Aerostar, also known as Antonio Stark, teams up with Drago. Yeah, teams up with Drago to fight off Jack Evans and.
So I assume that's where we're gonna get at some point.
And if that's just a taste of what we saw yesterday, we want more.
Yeah,
because we saw what the end result was.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that in a second.
All right, so we have
the main event.
Yes.
Pentagon Jr., Prince Puma, Mil Muertes, heavyweight title.
Oh, match of the week candidate.
It could. That's the other one.
That could be your pick, huh?
If that's not my pick, it's a definite candidate. But
that might be my pick.
Here's the thing about this triple threat match. Sometimes it's hard to make a triple threat match like not lose its pace.
Okay.
This one didn't lose its pace at all. It was just as soon as someone would hit somebody, the other person would come up right behind him and continue the action. Where I think we've gotten, to me, I've gotten accustomed to certain triple threat matches in WWE and things like that, where one guy will take a big bump or whatever, and he'll sit out, and it'll become one-on-one for like 5 minutes, and that person will get knocked down, and the other person will come in, and it becomes another one-on-one match. This was truly a triple threat match.
Yeah.
A three-way dance, if you will. Actually, yeah, dance graceful. Yeah, it is a three-way dance.
A wrestle à trois.
I don't know what you just said, but I like it.
No, I agree with you about the pace thing. But there was a couple of points in the match where I forgot about one of the others. A good example, Neil and Puma were outside, battling away, and then out comes Pentagon from nowhere, super kick, and then Puma forearm, and like Neil was just bouncing back and forth between the two of them. Like
that was Iron Man with Winter Soldier and Captain America beating them one at a time.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Was that the spot where they're all on the outside?
Yeah.
And Mortez was gonna throw Puma back in the ring, but he like jumped up on the apron and flipped over him.
Yeah, and
Pentagon
super
kick. And then when he went sideways, that's when Puma came back and forearmed him in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's kind of that's what I'm talking about. Just
It was great. And then we had a super kick fiesta.
Look out for the merch. It's coming. I've got some ideas ever since yesterday when you came up with that. I've got some ideas.
Yeah.
I've been doodling.
Ooh. Yeah, they just went back and forth with the super kicks, right there. So it was it was pretty cool. There was a lot of really neat spots in the match. Now, going back to what we were talking about earlier, when WWE has nothing but cowardly heels, this was a prime example of the heel on top of the mountain who's not a fucking coward, who
pinned both his competitors in the match
at the same time. One hand on one chest, the other hand on the other chest. 1, 2, 3, beat both y'all motherfuckers. Oh god, like that's cool. That's this dominating force of a heel that you don't see anymore.
Right. Yeah, everything about the match is good. To me,
this is gonna be a weird comparison. I equate that to Mankind.
Okay, how so?
Like,
wait, for Mil Muertes?
Yeah, because that's the last dominant heel. I never saw Mankind run away from the Undertaker. Mankind always
Mankind was a dominant heel.
He always came out on top. He wasn't booked as a pussy. He took a lot of the beatings. He threw himself at a lot of his opponents as a weapon, the flying forearm off the apron. Mil Muertes, being a big-ish guy, throwing himself over the top rope to do a splash, and him just coming out at the end of the match, just pulling his hair in the corner.
This same guy earlier in the show saying he doesn't want to compare new people to old people in the past.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, okay. Here's something. As we were watching this match earlier today, something that I posed to you as a question, especially since you just kind of used this phrasing that Mil is kind of a big-ish guy. Compared to everybody else, with the exception of like Cage and maybe Mac in Lucha Underground, he's the biggest dude. For being the big guy, is he the best big guy in wrestling right now, Mil Muertes?
Presently?
Yeah.
Well, who's the competition? Look around. Like who else have we got as big guys?
Harper, Rowan, Strowman, what's his name? Ryback.
You can't.
Well, okay. What about ROH peoples?
No.
Okay.
The only competition that he has as a big guy,
quote unquote.
I'm for anybody that doesn't get it. I'm using the quotations because we got ringside seats, second row from the ramp, the entrance. Mil walked past us. I'm 6'1", and he was the same height as me, so he's not big as in tall.
But he comes across.
As
he's fucking stacked though. He's fucking.
I would compare Mil Muertes, oddly enough, in a completely fucked up way, to Kevin Owens. He's a big guy. He doesn't look like the people that he wrestles against. Everybody else is in shape. He's the odd man out compared to what everyone else looks like. Yet the shit that he does, the mannerisms he does, his work on the mic, I would compare Mil Muertes to Kevin Owens.
Now, I mean, we're not talking. If we're not talking about actual physical size, but we're talking about style, he works the big guy style, especially against all these other guys that are smaller than him. Is he the best at working that big guy style?
It's not a complete big guy style because, like I said, he throws himself over the top rope. He's agile for his build.
But there's certain big guys that can do that too. I mean, Undertaker does that, or did. I mean,
yeah.
There's some big guys. But to answer your question, presently, as current rosters go, he's up there.
Okay.
I can't.
I mean, he just seems so goddamn dominating, and you don't think he's 6'1".
Harper's consistent, but he's not a focal point because he's behind Bray Wyatt. So
when you watch Lucha Underground,
when Bray's not hiding behind him.
When you watch Lucha Underground, you think that this guy is like
a big bitch,
7'6" and like 600 pounds.
That's because of his
fucking Shao Kahn freaking character.
His presence, the big feather thing, he makes him look.
Not even that. The way all he has to do, like, okay, we had Flippy Dippy Fest, Super Kick Fiesta between Pentagon and fucking Puma. But what was like one of the impressive things that made us go, oh shit, is when he ran in there and just punched Puma in the face. A punch, a simple punch. Like, oh fuck, like that.
How do you stop the pin count?
Punch him in the face. It's a good punch to the face. Like that's all it took, and like because he's this big dude that looks menacing. And it just he pulls it off.
Yeah, No, I agree to your analogy of him being a big guy.
Yeah.
And to your counterpoint, the reason he comes off like the big guy is because of the way he carries himself.
Yeah.
And his whole gimmick and everything.
He stands up straight. It makes him look taller. He has the coat thingy that, like with the feathers, sticks out over his head, makes him look bigger. He's walking around with Katrina. As beautiful as she is a stick figure on heels. So he looks a lot wider. Right. He looks a lot built besides somebody.
Even the other luchadors are smaller.
And the rest of the roster is small or thin to make him stand out that way.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if you would have Mil Muertes with, say, Big Rick in the same ring.
Yeah.
Because they're...
Big Rick might actually be bigger than him.
Yeah.
Where's Big Rick?
He's gone.
Was there a storyline for it?
No.
He's gone. Just like Patron, he's gone. No storyline, just poof.
No, there's a storyline of that.
Which brings us to Austin Warfare.
Yes. Oh man, yeah, we had a hell of a time.
First,
yeah,
you have to thank Bacon.
Yes, Bacon. Thank you so much. Bacon was the one that
the person, not the food.
Right.
Well, thank the food too.
Well, Nicole Bacon. Yeah. She was the first one in Austin out of our entire group, so she was the one that braved the lines to get our badges and then stay in line. You know, there was a lot of fucking confusion going into this thing, because this was the one thing that just wasn't good so far about anything with Lucha Underground, and I guess it's understandable because it's the first thing on the road. People didn't understand really how to get into this thing. Like, it came up online that, hey, the passes are free. All you have to do is sign up. Okay, so we signed up.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Okay.
Because even before that, not only because of the confusion of that, but this is the first Lucha Underground show.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So that's also in consideration with the fact that it was.
Well, yeah. Here's where the confusion was, and it wound up getting cleared up as we were there the day of, standing in line, and dudes telling us where to stand in line. Apparently, there was people that actually paid to be at South by Southwest and all the fucking crazy butt fuckery that goes along with that. So there
3-digit and 4-digit dollar amounts for certain credentials to get you first access, top priority to anything and everything South by.
South by.
So which is why I didn't go to South by.
So there was a line for the South by Southwest people. Then there was a line for the people that actually signed up when they said it was free. Hey, it's just, come to our show.
First come, first served.
That's what we did, and that shit.
We were 8th in line.
Yeah, and that was 3 weeks ago or something like that, and that thing went out in 30 minutes, an hour.
By the time you told me about it,
it was gone.
I clicked on it, it was already done.
It was gone. And then apparently they were actually selling tickets just to that event, and there was a third line. So there's 3 literal lines outside with 3 different people, and some. I think the South by people got in first.
No,
we got in first.
We got in first.
The free people got in first. Then the South by Southwest people got in. And then the people that just wanted to buy a ticket got in last. Yeah. And each one of those lines were
Well, our friend Jim Keel wound up being 40th, 35th in line in our line. And he got there maybe 2 hours before the door opened. And then by the time, and that was even before more lines started coming through.
Yeah.
Shit, there was a lot of people.
Yeah.
Easily $2,000.
So
no.
Total.
There was people upstairs
once we sat down and all the sections were filled and the show started and the people that were actually up in the balconies, I would think there were about 2,000 people.
Well, okay. I didn't see it, but okay.
Well, there was a fuck ton of people. Let's just leave it at that. So Travis Morrison, who was trying to ask us how all this shit went down and was saying about buying tickets and all this and that, it was just as confusing for us as it was for you, because I didn't even realize that they were actually selling tickets. I thought we would just sign up for the free ones and go, and that's it.
Well, that was a last minute thing too.
That was announced that morning on Facebook. Hey, by the way,
due to overwhelming demand, we're gonna open up. We're gonna sell additional tickets.
Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, Travis Morrison, sorry, because we were just as confused as you were. Wish that everybody could have made it out. I mean, like I said, we saw our friends, Jim and Drew out there, so that was cool. And maybe made some new friends while we were there. But enough of that. Let's get to the actual show. All right.
We always talk about quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Would you watch a WrestleMania that only had 6 matches?
Maybe.
If they were good.
If all of them were good?
Yeah.
And if it was 3 hours long, 6 matches?
Oof.
Well, not 6 hours or 3 hours or whatever the fuck you said.
Yeah.
Because we only had 4 matches.
4 matches.
And 1 promo.
1 promo.
And that took up 2 hours.
Yeah. Yep.
But did it feel like it though?
No.
Hell the fuck
no. It felt like a sneeze and it was over.
I wanted more.
Yeah, I did. I wanted a lot more.
But
But I was so satisfied.
Yeah, beyond satisfied.
And see, we make it sound like it was just the wrestling. What was really cool, nice fucking touch that I really enjoyed is their band that they had. I didn't catch the name of the band.
But it was a different band from the band that was originally advertised on the tickets when we signed up.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a band advertised.
It was something else, but yeah.
Well, it was a band of dudes all in luchador masks who were playing covers of American pop songs to the tune of like Mexican, the cumbia.
I recognize the moves like Jagger on, but I couldn't. Oh, and the Mary Lou.
The Black Keys one also.
Oh, there's Black Keys.
Yeah,
I saw the Mary Lou, the Pulp Fiction theme. That one. The moves like Jagger, and the other. What were the other ones?
The I got a love that keeps me away, and that song.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, so
I'm a lonely boy. That's
okay.
I'm a lonely boy.
So this is what got me chanting "fuck WrestleMania." 30 seconds in 3 minutes into this show. The opening contest was a fatal 4-way match. Drago, Antonio Stark, Aerostar, Son of Havoc, Pentagon Jr. The opening match. And I got the entire crowd chanting "fuck WrestleMania" once the bell rang.
Well, I wouldn't say the entire crowd, but a nice chunk. Yeah, dude, that match. When I saw that was the match that was opening the show, I had 2 thoughts. Holy fuck! Oh my god! I can't believe that. That was thought number 1. Thought number 2 is, dude, I'm gonna be spent for the rest of this show. Like, I'm gonna blow my fucking load.
I think for the most part, yeah, that was right.
A lot of people did.
Share with us your candid moment during that match.
My candid moment.
Yeah. You had a moment of fear, just like I did.
Oh, yes.
And you're about to explain it.
Okay, so earlier in the match, a few minutes into the match, Aerostar, he took a bump. He was out there for a while.
It was a table bump.
Yeah. And some of the medics or whatever came out and just kind of walked him away. People were, clapping for him and everything. And the match kept on going. And then went out to the outside, closer to our side. And then we're watching it, and then I hear this guy next to me, holy shit, and he like pointed up there, and I looked up, and I see Aerostar. This is a 2-story building right now, and there's a balcony. There's a balcony at the railing, and the Aerostar is just standing on top of this balcony.
Easily 20 feet above.
Yeah. And he just makes
a jump.
Okay,
not fall. He didn't fall.
Right.
He got air. He jumped from there to
get
more height.
Okay. We see that on TV a lot, especially in Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
Seeing that shit in person,
yeah,
that's some scary shit.
and a little more perspective, because you and I, unbeknownst to each other at the time, we went to Survivor Series in Dallas.
Right.
In 2000.
Right. Three. Yeah.
Shane McMahon versus Kane, and he did a crazy ass spot, just like that. But we weren't that close.
Oh yeah, that was the
ambulance match.
Yeah.
We're 10 feet away from this actually happening.
Yeah, it was right before.
I was taking pictures of everything. In that moment, I froze.
Yeah,
because this is oh shit. I literally. There's us watching it on television and feeling sympathy for the characters in a storyline sense. I, as a human being,
got worried for the
wrestler. Worried for this guy's this is for a couple of peons in a beer hall. You don't need to do this for us. Oh my God, he's gonna do it.
He did it. Oh,
Oh.
And then the crowd went fucking bananas.
Us included.
Us included.
Plátanos.
We were like, holy shit, jumping up
I
and down.
fell.
Yeah. You know, Brandon Stroud, who does the Up Rocks with spandex column, which is very popular, he was there and he actually filmed it. He caught it on film. And he has the camera traced on Aerostar jumping down, and he pans down where he lands on everybody, and then he tries to get like crowd reaction, and he goes a little bit to the left, and you see this crazy motherfucker Chris right here jumping up and down like a madman, and then he like starts panning away and gets everyone else jumping up and down like fucking madmen. The entire arena, everybody there in the music hall, Austin Music Hall, was going crazy.
Was it a spot like right after that we started? You grabbed me and we started to jump up and down.
Yeah. It was nuts. It was great. And that was the opener. Now,
and then another spot. Pentagon Jr. pulling double duty.
Yeah.
He had Aerostar set up for a gory bomb.
Yes. Yes.
And then while he had Aerostar set up for the gory bomb, he also got Drago for a cradle pile driver and dropped them both at the same time.
At the same time.
And that was the last we saw of Aerostar because he did not move. He was in that same prone position for the last like 2 minutes of that match.
And then after the 1, 2, 3, actually,
he was still on the ground.
He was. And then we had EMTs come out, put him on the board, put him in a little neck brace, and cart him off.
Well, the whole time, it was Pentagon.
Pentagon, everybody's in the ring. Like nobody had left. They didn't go to the back. They didn't play their character. They all stood there to make sure he was all right. And once he started moving his legs and moving his hands, you could tell that he was good.
Which makes me wonder, was all of that, like, was he legit hurt? Or was this, like, well done injury kayfabe stuff? See, I don't know. I don't know. And I love that I don't know.
That is the beauty of Lucha Underground.
I
literally, as a fan, don't know.
Yeah.
Going back, I mentioned this earlier, like, there's something I noticed as far as continuity and things with Melissa.
Yeah.
Even on this show.
Yeah.
When she announced Pentagon, or when she was like, because she was sitting like pretty much behind us.
She was a stool, like 5 feet away.
Anytime that he was close to her, she like not overplayed it, but she was like, oh, like just like get away from me.
Like he stunk, kind of. The look
like she's still mad that he tried to break her arm.
She does what she does on the show.
Yeah, and it was just that consistency. And I was like, God damn, even here in this, like you were saying, in this like rinky-dink little arena that's probably not even filmed. Well, there's cameras, but if it's going to be aired, I don't know.
See, that was the thing that kind of threw me off about all of this, because I thought it was not going to be something for film. It's not canon, but there was cameras there.
There was a lot of hype. They warned us when we got there. If we see you using your phone to record video, adios puto.
Yeah. Like there was actual photographers taking stills, but there was also professional fucking video filming cameras and cameramen there. So
and during promos, they were looking
at what
there was a hard camera.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if they're gonna use this footage at all for something. Maybe
you gotta use it for something. Yeah.
Maybe sell a special edition DVD. I mean,
again, for the continuity. We just saw Phoenix is going to cash in against Mill on this episode episode of Lucha. Well, hey, by the way, Mill's going to fight Phoenix tonight in Austin Warfare, and if Phoenix loses, he ain't going to get the shot.
Yeah.
And we had an impromptu match, Phoenix versus Mill.
No, wait a minute, hold on. Because you, okay, you're going to get there. Okay, all right.
That's consistent. Like that was my only flaw. That was the strike I gave for Lucha. I know this happened. They're about to film season 3 for fuck's sake. I can't let them get away with that. Like, don't insult my intelligence.
Okay, so let's just go over this one more time. Okay, so last week's episode ended. Phoenix said he's going to cash in next week. Okay, that was last.
And all of this was recorded months ago.
Right. But okay, so assuming you don't know that, this is
what we don't know.
So last week, Phoenix said I'm going to cash in this coming week tonight. Yesterday was before this showing, the airing of this episode. So Katrina and all them, they're saying, okay, you're going to fight Mil Muertes, but if you lose, you're not going to be able to.
You're going to fight tonight on Tuesday. If you lose, you're not going to fight on TV on Wednesday.
you know, because you know, if you want to say that it was a live show or whatever for the airing, but you know, it's already a taped show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, what else did you?
I mean, that like, what are they gonna pull? Like, oh, hey, yeah, Mil Muertes beats Phoenix. All right, the last 20 minutes of this week's episode is fucking Chespirito because they're not gonna air what they recorded 4 months ago. Like, no.
But as a way of being able to.
That's
pull
for the
off,
people that are just there because they're Robert Rodriguez marks, or they're people there because they want to see something different.
So there's still a
The
rhyme.
South by Mark.
Yeah.
There's rhyme and reason for what they did.
Yeah.
And you kind of have to set it up like that.
Even then, this is just a nit to fucking pick that we're spending way
Yeah.
too much time on for as awesome of a fucking show as it was.
Let's talk about the match itself.
Yeah, dude, whoa. You know, I was afraid that after that first match, I even turned to you because we were like high off of how great the match was.
I
And
told
you
you,
were like,
I told you I need
wow,
a cigarette.
that's gonna be great, man. This is gonna be an awesome show. And I said, no, Travis, it might be all downhill from here.
Like a Tarantino movie, you get the end at the beginning, and then everything else builds up to that end.
Okay, almost. But
I was waiting for Tarantino to come out naked, like he does in every other movie.
like I was thinking, okay, the opening is gonna be a 10, and then everything else is gonna kind of dip down. But it didn't really do that. It was like a 10, and then everything else was at least like an 8 or a 9 throughout the rest of the show. Yeah, it was all pretty good. And well, I mean, what was the second one? Was the second one the girls' match, or was that the
second one was Mil
Oh,
Phoenix.
was that the second
Yeah.
match? Oh shit! Wow. Okay.
Dude, there's only 4 matches. Keep up.
Yeah. All right.
Well, technically, the second match was the Vampiro promo, thanking the fans.
Oh yeah.
Fans took too long lip servicing and told them, hey, the sooner we shut up, the sooner we can get back to the wrestling. Again, continuity. The doctor came out,
Mm-hmm.
and sure enough,
The doctor
From
from
the first episode that was discharging.
Yeah.
Vampiro
Vampiro got rid of him, and he announced the double main event. That's when Katrina came out and said, you don't run shit, I run shit. And then that's when the whole meal kerfuffle happened, and that's how we got the second match.
that segment with the whole with Vampiro and Katrina, that made me think this is taped.
Yeah.
Because why else go through a whole storyline?
Yeah.
If you want to know what this looks like on television, let me show you exactly what it looks like here in the Austin Music Festival.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably why they displayed it exactly as is. So if you like the kind of drama that's in the ring with the microphone skills, if you like the hot women that Vampiro bragged about, if you like the high flyers, if you like the big men, we got a little bit for everybody. And it's all nice and polished by Robert Rodriguez. Breathe it in. You want some more? Tune in.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I really do hope that this opened up more eyes for Lucha.
Hell, I hope it opened up more eyes within Lucha to see that there's a market out there for them to actually do more of this. You know,
At least in Austin.
yeah.
There were the rumors that they
It was
wanted
so
to move
fucking
it.
hot.
They wanted to move it right here where Robert Rodriguez is from Austin.
Yeah.
They had actually taped the seasons in a place like that, and that's a perfect fit.
Yeah.
The layout that they had at the Austin
That was
at
beautiful set.
Austin Music Hall, apparently that was the same layout they had for NXT.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's gold.
Yeah.
It was a clean looking set. I was actually surprised. Like, I mean, I took pictures. I put on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it still tried to look grimy and gritty because it's Lucha Underground, but it still looked
did it?
nice.
I don't think it did.
Like they tried to make it look dark, you know, not in a bad way, but like that's the kind of tone that they went for, you know.
we got different opinions of tones.
There's a lot of lights. There's a lot of fire.
Oh yeah, we fucking missed that, you know.
Aerostar
Aerostar,
almost burned Bacon's eyebrows off.
yeah, like he came out with an aerosol can and so a lighter, and in his interest, he went and sprayed fire everywhere.
It was a dispersal of the fog.
Which was pretty cool, but I have to second guess, why is Drago not doing that? Because he's the dragon.
He spits out the mist.
Well, maybe Aerostar should have the mist and he should have the fire.
Again, nitpicky.
Okay.
The third match, Taya versus Evilise.
Yes.
The second time ever woman on woman violence.
Yes.
And what's your first impression? What do you think?
I really liked the match. I wasn't really sure what to make of Taya because at that point I hadn't seen her wrestle against Cage. So that was really my first time seeing her actual wrestle. And, you know, she cut this little promo talking about how she's the perfect woman and she's going to beat down Evilise and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck this bitch. Evilise, kick her ass. And she did. And I liked it.
Sure.
And I
choke a bitch out.
Yeah, she tapped her out. And I kind of liked it. I liked her. I mean, I was giving her a bit of a hard time, you know, like Dollar Store Melina, whatever, and but she was kind of cool. I kind of liked her.
Yeah, I'm still on the fence.
Yeah.
Evilise
carried her to a good match.
Yeah. Okay.
Think so?
Oh,
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. But there's a lot of promise there.
Was that the least exciting thing that happened last night at Austin? I'd say it was.
Yeah, it was your standard one-on-one match. There's no anything extra to it.
And even then, even saying that was like the worst, it's still pretty damn good.
And it's not the worst. It just had the least impact.
Yeah.
The first match was a fatal 4-way match that we hadn't seen.
Yeah.
The second match was a preview of what we were going to see on television for the title.
Yeah. The title match, basically.
And the last match was the return of Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
So it was a 6-man tag match. It was supposed to be Johnny Mundo against Cage. Yeah. And then during the Vampiro promo, I don't know how he said it, but the way I heard it was like, wait, there's ninjas involved? All right, I want to see ninjas in Lucha Underground. Okay, fuck. So it wound up being a 6-man tag match. Johnny Mundo picked his 2 partners, and it was Jack Evans and Darewolf, PJ Black. So we already were going to get a taste of what this tag match would look like. So we get
those 3.
We get Cage come out. His first pick is Puma. And I'm thinking, who's the cool guy that we haven't seen wrestle yet that came out? And I'm thinking, oh, man, we're going to see Angelico. I finally get to see Angelico because he hadn't wrestled at all in the show.
Yeah.
Then Travis over here points out, dude, there's a Ray banner over there for Ray Mastrio. I was like, okay.
Mastrio.
He's like, I bet you he's going to be wrestling. I was like, I don't know. Sure enough, it was.
The only banners they had were for the wrestlers that were there.
Yeah, and that's the justification was that we saw some of Havoc and we saw Evilise. Surely we're going to see Angelico. But, you know.
That was a great surprise. Because in the end of the day, none of this shit was advertised. We had no idea what we were walking into.
Yeah, we didn't have a card.
Even people outside was like, so what's the main event? What's the opening match?
I don't know.
Who's wrestling?
I don't know. Well, we saw Cage and we saw Puma walking around here earlier, so I'm assuming
we as in us.
Yeah.
We ran into Son of Havoc, Ricochet, Puma, Johnny Mundo, and
Melissa wound up coming out there when we
went to Starbucks.
Right? Somebody else.
Son of Havoc, Mundo,
Cage,
and Ricochet.
Yeah, okay, those 4.
Ricochet, yeah.
Then, but let me tell you a little story about that because we're the crosswalks and everything. I saw them. And we're on this side of the crosswalk. They're on that side.
And they're coming towards us.
I was like, let's stop. Let's wait. Let's see what happens when they come over here. Now, we asked them if we could take a picture with them, whatever. As good as they are consistently in making everything kayfabe on their show, even outside the ring, they did not want to take a picture with us together. Like they were kind of iffy about taking a picture with us in the first place. But then they're like, okay, sure. But they're like, we can't do it together. And I was like, oh,
who exactly couldn't do it together?
Anyone, because it was all...
Because Mundo's the heel.
Right.
I got you.
And then you got Cage and Ricochet and Son of Havoc for the faces.
Okay.
They didn't want to take pictures as a collective.
Gotcha.
Right. So we each took pictures.
So even then, just on the streets, like, kayfabe's still alive.
Mundo, by the way, walking around with no shirt. Of course. And there's only one place you can get away with that. It's Austin.
Yeah.
You know, so like New Orleans, Bourbon Street, you can walk around with an open alcohol container. In Austin, y'all can walk around topless. You even suggested that I do the show topless so that I wouldn't be seen wearing my work shirt with my work logo on it, even though I've been flashing it on my wrist this entire fucking show sometime. And I'm on 3 hours sleep. But that was our main event, 6-man tag with the return of our.
That was a good surprise seeing Rey Mysterio for the first time in
good shape.
Yeah,
great
he looked
shape.
good. He looked good. You know, he didn't blow out a knee.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
That joke's like terrible. 4 years old, man.
I know. So's his knee.
He's had surgeries since then. He's had stem cell research since then.
Stem cell research?
Yeah.
But he's been wrestling on the, I think, Northeast.
Stem cell is what I said.
Yeah, he says stem cell.
3 hours.
North, he's wrestling Northeast, and then in California, I think he was wrestling too. So he's been out and about.
Yeah. And he killed a while, but that's beside the point.
Right. Yeah, he killed
that thing too.
He killed the guy.
Yeah.
Brick killed a guy.
That escalated quickly. Show me a green card, I'll kill you.
Okay, so
But that match itself, okay, let's look the heel team right now. Who'd you say? You got Mundo, you got PJ Black, and Jack Evans.
Hold on, Jack Evans.
B Rabbit. We had B Rabbit on the stage for a minute because Jack Evans, we were like, man, his mic skills on the show are fucking awesome. Nah, we were in fucking 8 Mile. Jack Evans went like, word.
Dude, he just he rattled off this like diss promo rap thing where he was rhyming everything and like talking shit about the wrestlers, talking shit about dudes in the front row.
Battle rap, yo. It's called a battle rap.
I said battle rap.
No, you said like 8 different words and all mixed together into one sentence.
Anyway.
He did a lot of words, okay, and he made them sound pretty.
He did.
How about that? Yeah. Like when Cena was cool. Not really. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. And the match itself.
Oh. Well, I was getting to my point before
your point.
Before you said that. Just that team of those heels together.
It's a hell of a team.
That is a hell of a team.
That's a Survivor Series worthy right there.
You had your nitpick earlier. I have one nitpick about what I was observing during that match.
No bedazzled abs.
As obviously, as much as we, or at least I like to shit on, like say Young Bucks for coming off of like mocking, DX doing their thing,
The crotch chops.
Yeah, and the Wolfpack and everything. This heel team of them three, they were trying to pull the Young Bucks match.
Yeah.
Because that's what that was.
Yeah.
There was some certification there. There was, and then their attitudes, mainly Jack Evans and PJ Black, their attitudes was very Young Buckish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been done.
Douchebaggery to the extent, to the T.
Yeah.
But there's just their athletic ability kind of lets them get away with that. But then when they brought out like the kendo sticks and
kendo sticks got involved
Yeah.
because after a ref bump, kendo sticks got taken out, and so it was all 3 of them surrounding Cage, and they just decided to start whopping on Cage.
Dude, Jack Evans is so entertaining.
Yeah, he is.
Good Lord. But anyway, that's my takeaway from the main event. I mean, what about y'all?
It was fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
If any of this stuff actually makes it to TV, if it becomes canon somehow, we have match of the year picks. Possibly.
That first one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I said fuck the rules. That's my match of the week pick right there. That's a candidate for match of the year. Hopefully it ends up somewhere.
And then at the end of the show, both Puma and Ray got on the mic and they said that we will be back.
Yeah. Yeah. Then that could just be lip service to the fans.
Yeah.
But
at this point, I think it would be. But and that's when I told you guys when we're leaving. I said that's the one reason I'm glad that we did come is because this could be it.
It could be the first and only.
We know season 3 is filming or they're about to film, but then season 4 is up in the air.
Yeah.
So whatever happens.
And see, when they say that they'll be back, I think we all think and we all hope that they're just going to tour and have more shows and go to different cities. What they could be thinking is going back to the wildly different animal that is South by Southwest. Because for fuck's sake, you have the president showing up at this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's South by Southwest. It's not a regular event. It's an entire city that's transformed into a hipster live stage across the entire fucking town for like a week.
Yeah.
So this is a different animal. If they're coming back, they might come back for South by, but they might not be coming back for, the middle of September. Yeah, for just a lucha show or going to different cities, in different states across the country.
Yeah.
So, when they say they might come back, you got to take it with a grain of salt,
right.
To see exactly what the fuck they're actually going to really do. Because South by is such a weird thing that they could have just worked out some sort of deal with them where they're just an extra attraction and they didn't have to pay out the wazoo for this and that and here and there. It's like, okay, well, you're coming here to South by, we'll cut you a deal. You can.
This was a South by Southwest event.
Yeah, it was a South by
event. Even on these posters that they were giving away.
Yeah, it was on the app.
Right.
That it was a.
Yeah. Here. See this thing here.
Mm,
yeah.
Pretty.
Do you want one? I got one.
It's got more than one.
I got several. Fuck you. But I got one to give away. Not only do I have that to give away,
They had a comic book.
issue
Yeah.
number 1 of the Lucha Underground comic. I have one to spare. If you want one, I will post up a picture of the comic and the poster tonight after we finish recording. If you share that picture on Facebook, we can tell that you did it, and we will enter you in our drawing, and we will pick it next week live on the air.
Mhm.
And one lucky listener is going to get that poster, not the frame. We're not rich. We're
That's
gonna
true.
get
That's his frame.
Yeah,
And that's
poster,
his poster.
poster
You'll
and
get
comic book.
Yeah, you
bundle.
get mine.
Poster and comic book
I got
bundle.
mine.
You will get.
You
one.
better get yours.
Yeah. Yeah. So poster,
Yeah.
comic book, share it on Facebook, and we'll do
We'll
a
put you in
drawing.
the drawing.
Yeah, we'll use that hat.
No, not the hat. That's
No,
I'll wash it.
it's got piojos.
No,
No.
It's got Austin sweat.
Ugh.
One last thing about the
Worse.
show, about the Lucha Underground show.
Yeah.
This was all of our first experience at a Lucha show.
Mhm.
And I want to say,
Fuck WrestleMania.
well, besides that, kudos to the whole company of Lucha Underground for this show. It was organized.
Yeah.
It was, they looked out for us. They had us waiting outside. They kept on bringing out water to us. It's hot outside.
Mhm.
And they were handing out waters to us. They're
People
giving
in front of us were waiting for. We had got there at 2 in the afternoon, and there were people
Doors
that
open
had
at
been
7.
doors open at 7, and we didn't even know we were first in line after all the passes, because apparently the passes were supposed to go in first. There were people in front of us waiting there since noon and 11,
they had a cooler.
and chairs, their own chairs that they brought there. It was hot as fuck out
Yeah.
there,
And
and Lucha took care of us.
yeah, they did that. They brought us like free, like handing out free stuff, and they were doing some other stuff towards like the middle of the line with like interviews and stuff. I'm not really sure what was going on with that, but that was. But even with the line situation, it was getting kind of out of control. They said, okay, we need you people here. We need, if you're general mission, we need you right here. If you have badges, we need you over here.
Yeah.
It was very like there was no like hiccup or anything
Yeah.
for once they had to get things going.
Yeah.
Overly accommodating.
See, I think it could come off as me being a little bit too harsh with all the complaints that I had about the confusion of how to actually get tickets and be there. But once you were there, you got it. They told you where to go. They said, if you have this, stand here. You have this, stand here. And they.
Are you selling merch? Yeah. Are
Yeah.
you taking debit card?
Yeah.
Any question you had, they were more than willing to
They're
answer.
very nice.
They said the doors open at 7. Guess what happened?
7. Boom.
Show starts at 8. Guess what happened?
8. Well, at 7:45, that's when the band started
Right.
playing
Yeah.
their first set. Because it was in between those matches, they did another song in between.
Which like they did in the first season.
Yeah, it was really cool, and I really liked those
It
guys.
was like an overall show.
Yeah, it was something different. I mean, I know that ROW had tried to pull off having a live band at their show before, and they did. Well, and back in the PWA days at the Pasadena Convention Center, they did, and it just didn't really work out. But this, it worked, and maybe it was because they were wearing luchador masks and they were playing Mexican music.
No, it
so
felt
long.
part of the show.
It felt like it belonged in
Right.
the show.
Here's what it felt like to me. You go to a WWE Raw or the WWE pay-per-view, you get a whole lot of glitz, a whole lot of glamour, a lot of texture, and a lot of substance. You go to a house show, you get shit that really doesn't matter. Shit that's watered down. Shit that at the end of the day you could have done something better with your time.
Yeah.
You go to Lucha, you watch Lucha in Boyle Heights, that's the exact same feel that you got in Austin. It wasn't watered down, it wasn't compromised, it was just as authentic. I could literally go over, if we all went to Boyle Heights, we would feel the exact same thing we felt in Austin.
Yeah, I felt like that this could be part of the actual main storyline if they were able to churn out and edit and put it together. As
This could have been the debut of season 3, and I wouldn't have noticed the difference.
Yeah, well, with some of the
Like, if they-
storyline wise,
yeah,
like I mean, with the stuff with Mill and Phoenix, obviously they can't put that on air with the promo where they're saying that, oh well, if you win, you get to, because that was last night, and
the crowd, the vibe, the arena, the space, everything felt
everything
like, hey,
else.
let's start season 3 right now. We're here.
Yeah,
It just came together so smoothly, and it didn't run over on time because time was a big factor for all of us.
yeah,
And it didn't. It was supposed to be from like 8 to 11, and it actually ended at 10.
yeah,
And there's only 4 matches, which again, quality over quantity, I didn't mind.
yeah.
And ending at 10 was even better because it got out
you know, you can do everything. You can do other things if you wanted to. Like, you can go eat your food, and we can go on the road.
Yeah.
So anyway, final thoughts on the show?
I had a blast. I can't wait for them to come back, even if it is that fucking South by.
Yeah.
I wish it would be at South by. I wish they would do their own shit and actually take the show on the road and have stuff that's canon.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll take what I can get at this point when it comes to them. And I'll pay. I mean, I know I got in for free, and I'm not trying to rub that in anybody's face. I was willing to pay to go. You know, I mean, not like, 4-digit figures like the South by people paid for, but, a reasonable dollar amount, $30-$40, hell, maybe even 50. I might plunk down and go.
One other thing about the whole South by Southwest thing with the priority badges, earlier in the day when we were waiting in line for hours, they were saying that, we're waiting in line, but these priority badges, they're going to go in first. And that kind of, obviously that rubbed us the wrong way because we're the fans. Like the South by people, they're just there. They're just whatever.
This is just their flavor of the minute.
This is an event. Oh, I got a pass. I'll go in. Yeah, sure. I'll go watch whatever this is. Whereas you have the actual fans, they had to wait. By the time that got around to 6:30, 7 o'clock, about 6:30, 6:45, they came out and said, "Hey, you guys are going first." Yeah. And everybody was like, "Yeah," there's just such a
kind of like the backpack thing. Because they were first out there. The security was starting to set up so that everybody could go in, and they're like, anybody with a backpack, you can't take your backpack in. And well, this is South by Southwest. Everybody has like swag and merch and shit,
right.
And everybody had a fucking backpack. Right. So everyone's like, how are we gonna do this?
Yeah.
With 30 minutes to go.
Yeah. So they ran back in there. Somebody talked to somebody, and they came back out and said, hey, backpacks are cool. Don't worry about it. We just have to check them. Make sure you don't take out any GoPros or flip cameras or whatever, and you'll be fine. Like, oh, okay, cool. So, they were flexible, accommodating, and they were able to figure stuff out. So it was a great show. It was different with the band stuff. It was still along the lines of what you would see on the telly, and the production was great. The set looked great. The organization was great. Dude, this was like a fucking top-notch experience, top to bottom, all-encompassingly.
Yeah.
Can't follow that.
Yeah.
That's a fucking show.
No, it's not.
No.
Ooh. What's today's date?
Today is 3/16.
Y'all determined to forget about this segment, but I'm going to remind you that today is March 16th, which comes out to what's the number of those?
3/16.
3/16. So in honor of 3/16. I posed a question on Facebook and Twitter and asked everybody, hey, what's your favorite Stone Cold moment? Yes.
Well, I'll pull up one that came up on Twitter.
Okay.
Let's see here. It's from a guy named Thomas at Tom Martell 5. Okay. And he says, when he won the title at WrestleMania 14, as a teenager, I remember feeling like it was long overdue.
Okay.
That was him versus Shawn with what's his name? Tyson.
What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name? Mike Tyson. That's a guest enforcer.
Tell us your pick.
I would go to WrestleMania before that. The double turn where it was him versus Brett, the Crimson Mask when he was in the sharpshooter, passed out. Oh, dude, that was cool. I like that. What about you, Chris?
It has to be something sentimental for me.
Of course.
So it was
softy.
The second WWE event that I ever went to. The first one was No Way Out of Texas 98, the 8-man tag. The second one was the Raw in November of that year. And the show ended with Boss Man beating up Patterson and Briscoe, which led to Steve Austin climbing the cage. And then Boss Man beat up on Steve Austin. And then The Undertaker comes out while the cage is still set. And The Undertaker and Steve Austin are fighting in the cage. Then out comes Kane, who's feuding with Undertaker because Paul Bearer turned his back on Kane. Kane sets the steel cage on fire. And Steve Austin, Undertaker, and Kane are fighting inside a steel cage surrounded by fire.
That sounds like quite the Attitude Era clusterfuck.
And I still remember that to this day. When I signed up for the network, the first Raw episode that I went looking for was that one.
Wow.
So
did you
that's
find it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Okay.
It even has like The network even kept the overrun because they used overrun footage for like build up for St. Valentine's Day Massacre when Steve Austin and McMahon fought in the cage that next year. They used cage footage of those two from the after show in Houston in the Compact Center.
Cool.
So that's my personal one.
Nice.
That's
my
my
going.
Let me read out some comments here from Facebook.
All right.
Got some listener responses here. Jeremy Clinton, he says the Stone Cold and Kurt Angle sing along was absolutely priceless.
I guess.
I'm not gonna argue with that. All right. Aquaman Martinez. He says when Stone Cold gave The Rock multiple chair beatings right before he got the win at WrestleMania 17. So that was his moment, which is weird because a lot of people didn't like that moment.
Yeah.
I think there was one run.
Steve Austin and The Rock singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
Okay. Dylan Robert Allen III. He says, "Oh man, so many. But the first one that popped my mind was when he came and laid The Rock out the chair on Raw so Foley could win the championship. I was just a kid then, but man, I'll never forget that pop when the audience heard the glass shatter.
Yeah.
You just don't hear crowds completely lose their shit like that anymore.
No.
Yeah.
That is true. That is a damn good moment. That was almost gonna be. That was a good moment for me too. And again, like he was saying, there's so many good moments. One classic moment, not my personal favorite, but it's up there, is the beer truck, coming out and spraying out. That's one.
Fucking Shane and Vince swimming like fish in the beer.
Literally swimming in beer, yeah. Probably just for the whole atmosphere of everything that was going on at the time, the crowd, what was going on, what Vince was doing to Stone Cold, bringing in like other wrestlers and stuff. When they're in Raw and he's coming out in his embodying machine.
Yes. He runs over the light by accident.
Dude, everything about that. When he's coming through, he's like just dragging shit along. Doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's just dragging shit.
He's like, I don't know how to actually drive this thing.
And then he goes out there. He goes right up to the ring. Bam, hits the ring. The ring moves.
Yeah.
He gets out on top, goes on top of the hood, gives a couple middle fingers, jumps over there, and starts wailing on Vince. That crowd, when he jumped in that ring, you talk about a pop for the glass shatter when he saved Foley. That reaction to him jumping into that ring.
Yeah.
Someone threw a fucking
the stuffed animal punching bag.
Yeah, the punching bag thing into the ring. The crowd went absolutely bananas. And not only that part of it, but the cops, when they're arrested him, his hands tied behind just everything about that image of him walking back. I ain't through with you, Vince, not by a long shot. The shirt that he was wearing, the Bad and the Bone shirt, which I can never find that, by the way. That's like an exclusive shirt, whatever. I don't know. But there's the whole thing, and then Vince following him out into the, seeing him getting slammed into the police car.
Yeah.
The whole segment.
Yeah.
Just that set the tone for that whole feud. I thought.
Yeah, it did. It was good stuff.
I have another pick.
Yeah.
It was an episode of SmackDown.
Okay.
Where Stone Cold was trying to get his revenge on DX.
Mm-hmm.
And one by one, he's picking them off. Like he calls X-Pac on the phone and he tells X-Pac, look up. He looks up and the ceiling falls on him. Was it Road Dogg or Billy Gunn? Got caught by a bear trap and he was hanging upside down. And so then
this as a favorite moment.
All of them break free. And they're all in the ring, ending SmackDown, calling Steve Austin to take them all on one by one. And Steve Austin slowly walks down to the ring. And just before he hits the ring, a net falls down and traps all of the DX. And he runs and he starts beating the shit out of all of them one at a time. And as soon as they start breaking free, like The Rock and Kane, and everybody else that's feuding with the rest of them came out. But I just remember that vividly, that Steve Austin would go all Wile E. Coyote on these motherfuckers one at a time. Just the look on X-Pac's face when he looks up and that scene just goes.
Oh, man. That's some good stuff.
Yeah.
Would you say his creation of what is a good thing or a bad thing?
Ooh.
How he did it originally compared to what it's become.
At the time, it was genius. That was
him.
before the fans realized that they had an opportunity that they could take over the show.
Yeah.
Once that momentum started going, that they could become just as big a part of the show as the show itself. It just went off the rails.
Yeah, because I think the fans took it to somewhere where it didn't really need to go. They just ran with it too far. And even to right now, man, it's
Is
just
that going to be more of
Right.
his legacy than anything else?
As long as it keeps a legacy of him alive.
maybe. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's so much
Ric
more.
Flair will always be tied to Wu.
Yeah.
If we remember Steve Austin 60 years from now in the world of professional wrestling because of what? Hey, at least we all still remember Steve Austin.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, brother. Ric Flair, Wu. Austin, what? There you go. Daniel Bryan, yes.
I still have the
Del Rio seat.
fuck him. I still have the what with the question mark. Smoking Skull shirt.
Nice.
Actually, I have my original. I still have my original Austin 316 shirt.
One of the
Nice.
few signs I ever made for a wrestling show was WrestleMania 21. I drew a big C and say, and I wrote the rattlesnake says what?
Oh, that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough. All right.
We need sleep.
Yeah, we're tired. We need sleep.
We were
We're
over here
exhausted.
pre-tape talking about, man, we're tired. We're gonna blow through this shit really quick. I was hoping it was gonna be like an hour and 15 minutes, and I'd be asleep and drunk by now.
Yeah.
We're still here at Travis's house. He wants us out, just like I want to get out.
Yeah.
So
I do actually. So yeah.
So let's get out. The cat's already here clawing up stuff. So
damn
yeah.
it, Bailey, I can't wait till you turn heel.
Yeah, it's time for us to go. Adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Toodles. Pop your culture. What the?